Folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick DelGozzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Not a time to be dancing. Remix.
Folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick DelGozzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Catch the ball.
Welcome in, everybody. Agree to Disagree, only on A2DRadio.com. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the no Princeton, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, Specialized Physical Therapy.
That's touchy. That's a touchy.
Shut up. They already kicked it away. It's not a touch.
Did you see that?
It's not a touch.
Did you
All right,
see
guy
it?
trying to do an open. Guy trying to do an open. He can wait.
Did you see it?
He
Did
can
you see
wait.
it?
I'm watching
Did
it.
you see it?
I'm
Did
trying
you
to
see
watch
it?
him do an open. You got the nice
Did you
easy.
see it?
You can just come in and wait for everything else to happen. All right, let me get through this, and then we can talk about that. That probably was a catch.
I'm a spur of the moment guy, Tom. Shit happens. I gotta respond.
All right, we know you. We know you.
If you know anything about him.
Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, everybody out there joining us. What's up? We got a lot to talk about. Crumb of the week around the NFL. Sixers are starting soon, thank God. Jalen Hurts versus Carson Wentz. That conversation's obviously upon us. Eagles versus Packers post-game, right? And we'll recap it. We're going to recap, another boring game for the most part. Our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services. Find them on the web, ambuckservices.com. 20% off. Tell them A2D sent you. Gutter guards, gutter installations, Ambuck Services got you covered. Our poll question, Jalen Hurts should start the rest of the season. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Enjoy the time with us. Get it off your chest. You know what time it is. Time to lay down on the couch and get it all off your chest. Because I'll tell you, before we get to the poll, before we get to the poll, I'm sitting there watching a game with my wife, and she's like, "Why are you upset? You know they stink." And I said, "You know what? I know they stink. That's not the point. I just want to be entertained at least, right? I just want some action. I just want you to act like you can score a little bit. I want you to get first downs, look like a football team for the most part, right? Not 3 points again for another week. It's boring to watch. It's boring. And every week we come out and we hope and we pray that our franchise quarterback that we gave all this money to and we traded up to the second pick of the draft and got, and we all made fun of Jared Goff because he had small hands and Carson had big ones. We all hope that guy would come out of his slump and come out of it. And he has not. He looks terrible. He doesn't look good enough right now. He looks indecisive. He's been hit more than any quarterback in the National Football League. All right. He's been beat up and hasn't been, and then on top of it, hasn't been good enough either. And hasn't gotten help. We all know this, okay? But when I'm bored watching football, I mean, I was sitting home, just put him in. Just put the kid in, right? Like, let's see if he can light a spark. And credit to Jalen Hurts, he lit a spark, okay? He wasn't perfect. He didn't look great. He ran around. He made some plays. And if you know anything about the National Football League, anytime you bring a backup in usually and they can play a little bit, your team usually gets a spark. It's just how it goes, all right? We've dealt with that in this city for a long time. That being said, to the poll question, Jalen Hurts should start the rest of the season. Agree or disagree? For the first time on A2D, I'm going to say this. All right? I don't care about winning games anymore this year. We need playmakers. We need studs in the building ASAP. And the only way we're going to get that, since we can't draft, period, is get up into the top 5, top 7, right? And to be able to get an impact player in here immediately on at least one side of the ball. My goodness, at least somewhere, right? At least somewhere. So I agree to the poll that he should start the rest of the season. But I also know there's a lot of money tied into this too. which I'm going to be interested to see how this plays out this week and moving forward. That being said, I still believe Carson Wentz is going to be the starting quarterback next year, but that depends on how this kid plays down the stretch. Now, you also got to factor in you're going to get film on the kid. Things change when you get film on you. All right, things change in this league when teams get to figure you out, and you're not coming off the bench and they prepare for you all week. We all know this, right? So I want to see a couple of things. I want to see young players play to see what we do have on this roster because it's bleak, and I just want to see him play. Screw it. I can always go back to Carson at this point. I can always go back to him. I'm a Carson Wentz guy. I defended Carson Wentz, but he just looks indecisive. He doesn't look good, and I can't sit here and tell you he should start right now if you want to win games or lose games. Either way, I'm just in the belief I'd rather Melvin Gordon now. I'm just in the belief. I'm just in the belief in the category of, hey, you know what? For the first time, I want no parts of winning the division. I want no parts of any of that because the only way I'm going to get what I want here, and that's Howie Roseman fired, is a train wreck or somebody gone. Somebody.
The only reason I would disagree there is you're probably better off with Carson if you want to lose and get a draft pick. You know what I mean? Like you have to fuck around and put Hurts in. No, I know. I mean, who would think to say that? But they're embarrassing to watch when he's playing. You know what I mean? Like as Eagle fans, you guys, that had to be the most exciting 6-7 minutes that you experienced all season. And if not, tell me I'm wrong.
No, it was. You're correct.
That had to be fucking delightful for you. Had to be delightful.
We didn't get that since week one. Week one, the first half, actually not even. The first quarter, we felt like we were world beaters again. Like, look at us. Look at us.
First two drives.
We told you. We told you we were going to be explosive. We told you, right? But since that sweep, you're 100% right. I sat there on the couch, like I said, to open the show. My wife's like, why are you mad? Len's like, why are you mad? Like, they stink. And I said, I know. I'm mad because there's no excitement. I just want something to energize me, too. Like, I'm not energized. How can I expect a player to be energized? My goodness gracious. I said, I want to spark, right? And then finally, we got something to be excited about by our first round pick and our second round pick. So at least it's something to say, okay, at least there was some excitement in the game, right? And then at the end of the day, we lose because that's what we do. And as long as I can get a little excitement and losses, where I can see development and losses. So if I do want to trade Jalen Hurts or they move on from Carson Wentz because he plays so good, which I don't think is going to be the case. You know what I mean? But at least you get to figure it out, right? As an organization. As an organization, you get to figure out what direction you're going to go. So for the first time, I'm saying, you know what? Just leave him down. Leave Carson down. That's not a shot at Carson anymore. He's played like shit. See it from another side. If that ruins you as a player, I don't know what to tell you. All right? Because then you weren't mentally tough enough anyway. It shouldn't ruin you as a player. And it doesn't have to be sat down the rest of the year either to the polls. It can just be for next week. Like, I don't even want to talk about the rest of the year. I'm strictly just talking about next week. Like, I think.
Well, you know who next week is, right?
I know who next week is. So, I mean, I agree. I agree that he should start.
Two QBs that can't throw.
Yeah. Two little guys running around. Two little dudes. That's going to be a fun jersey exchange. But what I'll say is not that I want to see Jalen Hurts. I just want to figure that out because as an Eagles fan, regardless of how I feel about a player that's drafted here, I want to figure out if they can play at this level. And the only way I'm going to find that out is by playing. So all the talk's cheap. You know what I mean? By the fans and everybody yelling and screaming for him, all the talk's cheap. So let's see if he can play that. Because right now we know our franchise guy is struggling. And guess what? I don't think tons of us already said, I don't think Carson forgot how to play football. All right. I think there's so many factors into this. And before I go to you guys, I want to read this off to you guys real quick. And this isn't excuse driven. These are just facts. All right. 15 picks obviously leads the NFL. 46 sacks leads the NFL. 132 pressures leads the NFL. 49 hits leads the NFL. 29 drops leads the NFL. 95% off-target incompletions, most in the NFL. 163 blitzes, second most in the NFL. 2.6 pocket time, third worst in the NFL. So he's played atrocious, but that's just to show everybody that there's more than just him on why this team stinks right now. But he needs to play. He needed to play better, and he didn't, and he got sat down. And that's what happens in this league when you've stunk for this long. When you stink for 12 plus weeks, guess what? guess what? There's only one thing a coach can do to try to revive his team and maybe save his job. I think Doug wants out of here anyway, but to still save his job alone. You know what I mean? Like saying, you know what, we need a spark of some sort. And I'm going to be interested to see who Doug does start next week, right? He didn't confirm either way tonight, which is telling a little bit, but maybe not.
That's par for the course for it, especially for him. You know what I mean? Like they all, like I said, that's the manual that you're given. As soon as you get hired as a coach in the NFL, you get sent a giant fucking manual that they all, you know, turn to page 4,000, and that's what you got to say instead of saying, "Hey, you guys blind? Thanks for asking me." Of course, Jalen's playing next week. I don't care if they have time to prepare. Have you watched 11? Christ Almighty, looks like a fucking freshman quarterback, backup freshman quarterback. Christ Almighty. But I hear you. I mean, so I didn't expect them to say that Jalen was going to play, but you can expect that announcement, I guess, by Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, exactly.
Tuesday.
Here's the poll, guys. Here's the poll. Jalen Hurts should start the rest of the season. Do you agree or disagree? And tell us why, because my opinion's different. My opinion's like, you know, for the first time, I don't want to win games, and maybe you should just leave Carson in if you don't want to win games. but I also, you know, I've seen Carson for 5 years. I know he can play. I see this is one bad year that happens sometimes. I'm not out on Carson. He just looks like shit right now, right? But now I just want to see if this guy can play, right? As an Eagles fan, like, can he play? You know what I mean? Like, and even if we keep losing games, fine, because we need more talent in the door, and we need to find out if our young guys can play. So that's the main reason I'm going to it. And how can anybody sit here or anywhere out there and say Carson Wentz should start next week after the performances? You know, we act like the Packers are the 85 Bears today. I mean, are we kidding me? Are we kidding me? I mean, I like Jair Alexander. I like King. They're good. They're good. Calm down. All right? They'll hold you to 3 points through 3 quarters is atrocious. It's freaking atrocious. It's set football back 40 years, what I've watched over the last 3 to 4 weeks, if not longer this year. Okay? It's set football back. That's how bad we've been offensively. All right? And at least Jalen came in and said, you know what? I'm going to run around. I'll at least make plays with my legs. And guess what? He hasn't been hit as many times as I said in them stats, has he? So he hasn't gotten beat up and knocked down yet. So, of course, yeah, run around. You feel comfortable in the pocket because you haven't been crushed yet. All right? Carson's got like the Chuck Knobloch, the you know, and the case of just the, you know, the case of the mental.
Got the yips, they call that. That's called the yips.
He's got the yips in terms of just not trusting himself in any throw.
Rick Ankiel.
Like, not one throw do I feel like when he steps into a throw, like, yeah, he trusts that throw. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the point I've come to with Carson. And I can't run from that.
If he throws it. That's if he throws it.
If he throws it.
You know, you can't take that, you know, 2 bad sacks in the first half. You know what I mean? You can't take both of them. You take one of them, that's fine. Can't take both of them, buddy. You're in field goal range. Elliott probably would have missed it, but I digress.
And listen, Joshua Carson's Maddox was total garbage. Listen, this whole team's total garbage. Right, there isn't, again, we say for another week, there isn't one player on this team that you say, oh, man, that's a stud. That's a star in the making. There isn't. Or a star right now. There just isn't. And we came a long way from August.
Oh, yeah, when you're leaking oil, man, it's, you know, when you're leaking oil, you forget how to win. You know what I mean? So that's not, you know, we know there's problems all over the place, right? But when you're leaking oil, you forget how to win, right? Because as exciting as that 7 minutes was, you had a chance on both sides when it was winning time, and you failed, right? You 3 and out twice. You got 2 stops that you needed, came back. Now he's a young kid. He's a rookie. I'm not fucking piling on him. I'm just saying 23-16, that's winning time. Right, and then he got sacked, and Doug decided at 4th and 13, I got a punt. Understandable. You had all your timeouts, whatever. You know what I mean? You hate to give it back to Rodgers. Then winning time for the defense is get the ball back. 77-yard run by Aaron Jones. Good night, ball game over. Yep. So.
And Rodney McLeod's over there.
Yeah,
doing their guitar.
Yeah, I don't care about that. He made a good play on that ball, but I mean, yeah, I'm not going to blame Rodney on that run. But the fact of the matter is, we got the ball back, and T-shirt boy dropped the first down. So, I mean, you know, that's the way it goes because nobody's good enough. That's the fact of the matter. If it's not one person messing up, it's another person messing
Absolutely.
up. And yeah, that becomes on coaching. That becomes on the front office. That becomes on the roster you put together. And that becomes on, like, with even the broadcast today said, well, we all know. I mean, 3 interceptions from a defense 13 weeks through. I mean, hang it up. Hang it up. Stop playing football then. You're not a corner. You're not a corner. Maybe your linebackers, all that. Maybe all you guys back there are linebackers because nobody knows how to find the football. All right. And people want to tell me Darius Slay can come out and tweet whatever he wants and tell me how bad he played. We know. We watched you for the last 2 weeks. So your apology is great.
We've seen.
Yeah, your accountability is great, Darius. We love accountability.
Congratulations. Our TVs were on. We saw the game.
You told me that you could travel with anybody. People told me when he signed here, when I said, Darius Slay's good, but he's not as great as people are making him out to be in this city, right, when we signed him.
That's just fact, Tommy. That's fact. That's what he is.
That's just the case. I mean, listen, I want ball hawk,
Doesn't
babe.
take the ball away. So that's number one. Doesn't take the ball away. So then you better be shut down. Not shut down. Then you're just good.
Let's just compare him maybe to the best corner in the league, right? My guy, in terms of like Ramsey. Like, is Ramsey getting torched by Metcalf and then back-to-back weeks Devontae? He might get torched by one of them, but there ain't no way back-to-back weeks somebody's taking his lunch.
Well, he didn't get torched by Metcalf. He shut him down. So you're already correct.
But my point of the matter is, like, the great ones, the really good ones in this league aren't getting it twice, 2 weeks in a row. That's what separates it. 2 weeks in a row, you had an opportunity to redemption. You know what I mean? What's going to be your response to getting scorched, right, on Monday night? What's going to be your response? Oh, okay. Devontae Adams going to do the same thing. Avonte Maddox stinks. Shouldn't even be on a football field. Jalen Mills looks lost out there. Okay, Rodney McLeod's the only guy that even looks to be around the football sometimes, and we know Rodney McLeod isn't the best. You know what I mean? He's a good safety. He's not great. Again, right? The defensive line can't get any pressure on anybody. The offensive line can't protect. Our quarterback looks lost. Our wide receivers can't get separation. Our running back wants to kick everything outside, and people want to bitch and moan on why he doesn't get carries because Deuce put his ass down. Or your guy that you want to be the head coach, put his ass down. Watch the game. Watch the whole game and watch when he came to the sideline after his last carry when he didn't get another carry for a while. And look at Deuce Staley reaming his ass out. Watch the game. Watch the game, people, with your freaking love affairs. Watch it. He reamed him out and he didn't get another touch. You know why? Because he kicked something outside he shouldn't have. All right? It's accountability being held, too, here. All right? On everybody. Carson Wentz didn't play good enough. Where'd he come?
Tom, it's when we could have went for the field goal. He tried to bunt it outside instead of going up the field.
Yep.
It's exactly what it was.
You don't see touches. You're not a Pro Bowl player that it's like, okay, you can make mistakes. And people are saying, like, why did Jordan Howard get more carries? Well, because, dude, we're trying to run the ball down their throat a little bit where they struggle the most at. If you know anything about the Packers, they struggle running right through that, right up the gut. And we put two good drives together and should have came away with at least 6 and felt better about ourselves. Right? Always like, okay, we're up 6-0. We have a pulse. We actually scored points in the first quarter, right? And all momentum changes when you take a bad sack. And it's a microcosm of a bad football team. So to the poll, Jalen Hurts should start the rest of the season, not because I'm out on Carson, not because I never believe in him anymore, just because of all the reasons already stated. I agree. What do you guys say? I
agree with you. And it's weird because I've been on record saying I do not think that Jalen Hurts will be a very good quarterback in the NFL. And I believe that, but right now we're broken. I've watched the Eagles for a long fucking time. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm getting up there. And I can't remember a year where we've been as bad as we've been for the last month. We're atrocious right now. We're broken. It's absolutely broken with Carson in there, and I don't care what you want to say. He's been hit too much. I don't care. Nothing looks right. Everything looks like we're in cement. Everything is slow. Yeah. And I got no time for it. I just can't watch it anymore. I can't bring myself to watch it. And if Doug's not making the change, then I don't know what the fuck Doug's watching either. And I'm ready for him to go too. You know that. But to me, you have to. Jalen has to play the rest of the year. You sit Carson down, maybe throw him on the COVID list. Oh, he was around somebody. We'll see what Jalen does for 2 weeks. Like I'm just telling you, he just can't. Carson can't start next week. You can't do it. If you've been watching football at all, you can't do it. He looks awful. We look terrible. It's like we never played football before.
Yep.
It's awful.
This offense has been too bad.
And it's everybody. It's not just him. It's everybody.
Yeah, but who gets held accountable? Your quarterback.
It's always on the quarterback.
Your quarterback does. And if you're not making plays that make guys around you better, listen, we've seen Doug Peterson coach up nobodies like last year too, right? We've seen that. So everybody says that Doug Peterson can't coach players up and doesn't get guys better. We won 4 games. I don't care who we played. We can't beat anybody right now. And last year we won 4 games. Everybody told me who we played is why we won. Okay. Well, you still got to win games in this league. And we won 4 games with a bunch of nobodies on the outside. And we thought Carson really was a carrier. Well, at some point through these weeks, right, you might not win these games, but have a pulse on offense. I mean, there's been no sign of life. And when there's no sign of life, you make moves in this league. That's how it goes. And you can't get caught up. Doug and Carson tied the hip, and Doug made a decision that we all sat home and we're making it on our couch today. Where, hey, it's time. You know, I made a post about it. I know other guys talked about it. We all did. Hey, it's time. If there's ever a time, it's right now. You gave him the half, and he came out with 3, and then you gave him the third quarter to make adjustments, and it was stagnant again. So what are you going to do? You know, you got to make that move for your football team. So, all right, what do you two guys say? And everybody out there listening.
I just don't understand. Like I said, like, you know, like we always go, you know, we always say, like, give up play calling, dude. And, you know, the season's, we're in the middle of the season. So I get it. It's not going to happen now. But it's just, you just feel like Doug is getting, you know, gets dumber and dumber. I just don't understand. I'm not even talking about the whole game. I'm talking about in winning time. All right. 23-16. That drive starts with miles for 5, 1st and 10. What are you going away for him for? All right. So then it's an incomplete pass, a sack, and now you got 3rd and 13. You're behind the chains with a young quarterback, and the fucking drive's over. And I'm not saying you're going to continue to run for 5. I didn't say that it was fucking easy. All right. But, you know, you just ran for a first down twice. All right. There's no reason to hurt. You're down by 1 score. You're down by 7. It's not like you're down by 14. I don't know. It's just everything is a microcosm, and it's unbelievable.
Well, he loves to throw the football. You know what I mean?
And I'm not sure what the other guy was talking about. I guess
I don't even know.
Is 11 stats better than 5s? Was that a defense? I don't know where that guy was going because he said I'll wait.
I have no idea. I haven't been reading.
What's he waiting for? I didn't even see the
check
comment.
the stats for 5 and 11 their first 5 seasons. I'll wait. So I'm assuming that 11 has better numbers. Was that
5 had playoff wins? I know that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
That's what I know.
Didn't want to
and I don't think anybody on here, at least this show, ever claimed that Carson was better than 5.
No,
So-
well, he's trying to say Carson is better. I think is what we're saying.
Oh, he's not better than 5. So knock that shit off right now. You know what I mean? I didn't read your comment. I'm just flashing them on the screen right now. We're gonna get to all the comments.
Listen, I'm not saying Carson's a bad quarterback because I don't think he is. I think that he has been very good in this league, and I think he will be good in the future. But right now, it's broken, and you just got to move away from him. Sit him down. Just maybe, like I said, maybe just take the rest of the year off. I don't care. Hurts has to play right now.
Yeah,
gotta play.
To me, it's a no-brainer. It's you know, I agree, and I've been saying that for a while. Not that you were going to expect some grandiose performance, but it's time. And in all professional sports, you know, and not just professional sports. Excuse me, Christ. You know, but at any level, right? When it's time. If a guy's not, somebody's not performing, then you make a change. It's just, you know, and you would expect these guys to understand it more than you would, you know, when you're dealing like, you know, with amateur sports. You know what I mean? Like these guys should be adults about it. They're getting paid. You know what I mean? But instead, you know, in every sport, you got to tippy toe around. Well, how do I go about this? You know, this guy might be a diva. This guy, you know, he's his ego or, he's really delicate. You know what I mean? Instead of just saying, hey, dude, shut up, dude. Give me the thing. Put your helmet away. It's not going back on. I appreciate that you had your helmet on. Maybe you thought Doug was going to call you again. All right? Get out the pom-poms and cheer, which he did. Obviously, the 2 big plays, he was there cheering, and he wasn't pouting. You know, you don't expect anything else from him. But take the helmet off. All right, for the next 5 weeks, you don't need it. You know what I mean? You don't need it. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's time to, it's time to let the kid play. It's time to let the kid play. And like I said, that stretch was probably the most exciting, interesting part of the Eagles season, and why it lasted. And we'll see, how it goes when he has a whole game and teams get a chance to prepare for you, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? It was 5 for 12, and like I said, 5 good throws, but it wasn't like he was 11 for 12 and for 170 and 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So, but it was the spark they needed. He was able to to get out of the pocket a little bit and escape, some escapability, even though he was sacked 3 times as well. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's crazy. You're like, you see them running around and you're like, oh man, look at this. This is what the Eagles needed, and then you realize, wow, he was sacked 3 times too.
He did a good job of trying to get out.
Yeah, we can't block. We can't block, that's for sure.
Crazy.
No, this up front's bad. So, all right, all agree
we
so
can't,
far.
We can't block.
all agree so far. So, Greg, Jalen Hurts should start the rest of the season. Agree or disagree? Everybody out there join us. Let us know. And if you're listening right now, subscribe, follow, download. Well, you can't download now, but download if you're on the podcast because we're everywhere. But right now, like, subscribe, follow, comment in. We're going to be reading them all off. We're just going to get through all the, the nuts and bolts right here. So, Greg, what do you say? Agree or disagree?
No, absolutely, I agree. I mean, we could have agreed, maybe not start the year, but we could have agreed after you tie the Bengals that there should have been more of a package available for Jalen Hurts from then on. Because when you tie the Bengals in a season after losing the week 1 to Washington like you did, you should always kind of see that your season was starting to trend downward. So when you waste a second-round pick like that, or maybe you don't waste it, right? But when you use a second-round pick on a quarterback that at the time seems like a waste of a pick, you have to see what you get from him, right? And absolutely, for those couple minutes today, he put that really nice red lipstick on that ugly pig that we've been watching for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, all season, and gave us a little glimmer of what to look forward to. I'm not even going to say hope, but what to look forward to if he's in the game for longer periods of time. You know what I mean? And this is what we've kind of talked about the last few weeks with, hey, let's give him a series, right? Let's give him a set of downs instead of one play or 2 plays, but Carson's on the field, so we're really playing down a man. You know what I mean? Where everyone knows what he's coming in to do. Part of those throws, and it was only 5, but part of those good completions was he was moving around. They weren't all flat-footed throws in a pocket. He was some of them were on the move, but we have to see what we have from not only Jalen or both Jalen's, but we have to see what we have from this younger group of roster that isn't making a whole lot of money, because chances are they're the only ones going to be around next year. And we need to see what we have.
No, you're right. I mean, we got to see, we want to see what we have as a fan. But I mean, in terms of like twofold, right? Like, okay, I'm not trying to win games, but for a football team that is trying to win games, probably still in their mind. I mean, right now, from what you saw in a small sample size, right? One guy tells me I got a better chance of winning a game.
He gives you the best chance to win right now, no doubt.
It was the only sign of goddamn offense. So I mean, like, if Carson was like at least like driving us down the field and like bad throws at the end, or we were missing field goals all the time, or we just weren't coming away with touchdowns, it'd be a different conversation. But we haven't moved the ball in like 4 freaking weeks. So that's such a sample size. Like, we talk about breaking the season down in quarters, right? And you break it down in quarters, fine. I'm a big quarter breaker downer, right? Well, and that quarter of 4 games has been absolutely atrocious. And that goes back even further than that. I mean, really, since the beginning of Washington, this offense has not clicked at all. Mm-hmm. It's been a train wreck. It's been disgusting to watch. It's been boring.
Yeah, there's been some glimpses, and Carson's had some good throws. But besides that, it's been shit, Tom. There's a ton of 3-and-outs sprinkled with a couple good drives.
Yep.
TTP, I don't think there's a guy they'd rather play for. I think it's an unfair question. Because I don't think the spark came because, they want to play for Jalen more. The spark comes because you bring in a backup quarterback, and 95% of the time brings your team life. 95% of the time. And guess what? If they loved him more than Carson, they would have won the game somehow. You know what I mean? Fulgham wouldn't have dropped the ball, right? They would have protected better. And he wouldn't have got sacked 3 times. So, you know what I mean? So, I don't buy into who likes who better. I think Jalen Hurts is a great kid, and I think Carson Wentz is a great guy. And I think that both of them, being that Jalen Hurts has been through this before at the college level, I think it makes this dynamic easier for both of them and doesn't make it uncomfortable as much. And you got to remember something. You're paying the other guy $100+ million. He's comfortable, okay? Comfortable for the rest of his life. So, if this guy didn't get paid yet, I'd feel woe is me, right? It'd be woe is me. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? No. At the end of the day, listen, Richard, you're right. If the spark was Hurts, but that's what backup quarterbacks do if they can play a little bit. Nobody said he can't play a little bit. He moved around. He was able to run around, make plays, and good for him. Listen, that's why I'm saying give him the start the rest of the year. Let's see if he can do it with a game plan. Right now, you got the full week of preparation. Now the defense you're going against is preparing for you. It changes everything. So let's see him do it. I'm not saying he can't. Listen, time will tell. All right, I'm not even going to give my opinion. Like I don't know if he's not going to be a good pocket passer. Right? I don't believe in that. Okay, but can he make plays outside the pocket? Can he maybe make some plays inside the pocket with a clean pocket? Yeah. Smaller guys do. I mean, I watch Baker do it. I watch Kyler Murray do it sometimes. But it's not like it can't be done. It's just the fact of the matter is it's not ideal. All right. And he's never been a good more than a one look and go guy. So that needs to change if you want to be a complete quarterback in this league. If not, you're a gadget. And listen, gadgets can make your offense look exciting for a couple weeks. And that's not a shot
last year.
Yeah, and that's not a shot at the kid. Listen, this kid is aces. I love this kid. I love his demeanor. I like what he stands for. All them things. All right. But right now,
he's a leader.
He is a leader.
Yep.
He's won a lot of games as a starting quarterback. And being he's an Eagle, I will root all day for him. Do I still think 11's if you're asking me with a gun to my head, who has bigger upside, I'm going to still stick with 11. All right? I'm still going to stick with 11 right now. Down the road. Not tomorrow, not next week. Down the road. I'm still going to stick with 11 for right now. But that can be changed really quickly. You know, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, if you come put a sample size up of the rest of the games and you play great football and you lead this team that can't even win a football game right now to some wins somehow, then the conversation shifts. Kind of, like, you win game. Yeah.
That's the other side. You get a chance to see what this kid can do, and then you can hide, you can hide 11 from any more damage, just in case there's some suitors out there. I understand that the contract is a monstrosity. That's great, right? But there are teams like the Colts, you know, and teams like that maybe take a shot because everybody always thinks they can fix somebody, you know what I mean, or they can make it right, you know. So you never know, you know what I mean. So if Hurts, you know, can play, or he shows that, you know, flashes, and that's the direction they want to go in, then maybe then they can move off 11, and then you get maybe get a king's ransom back. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, not a king's ransom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you know, he had a resume up until this year. You know what I mean? It was mostly injured. You know what I mean? It involved injuries. You know, it never involved performance. You know what I mean? So if you were looking at his resume, it was like, hey, that dude can play. Our question is, can he stay upright? You know what I mean? Like, you know, especially, you know, playoff time and all that stuff. You know, it wasn't about, can the guy play? Now it's about, hey, man, did this guy lose it that quick? You know, can he play anymore? I mean, I don't know. That's just, I'm not saying he can't, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know, everybody goes through those years, you know what I mean? So, you know, you're hoping that you chalk it up as you have a seat the rest of the year and maybe start fresh, you know?
I think the best thing for him was Rodgers talking to him at the end there, for him personally. And listen, at the end of the day, I want both of them to be damn good quarterbacks in this league. You know what I mean? There's not a war with me when it comes between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. I'm an Eagles fan, right? There's no war between the two. I want them both to be able to freaking play. Because if they both can play, my organization's going in the right direction. If they both can't play, my organization stinks. So one of the two, I need you to play. And if both of you can play, so be it. Welcome. You know, most teams don't have one. You know what I mean? So we'll take it. So, I mean, that's what I'm rooting for as a fan. But the crazy thing is to me is, like, part of me wants Carson to run back out there because I want to see his response to being sat down, right? So part of me wants that. But part of me wants to see this kid play too, because we are out of it in my eyes and all of our eyes, you know, even though mathematically they're not, but they stink. So we just want to see something different. We want to see. What, you disagree with me?
No. To me, that's the main reason I want him in is just because I can't watch the football I've watched for the last month. I can't physically fucking do it anymore. I can't do it. At one point today, I think it was around the second quarter, I said to myself, why the fuck am I watching this game right now? What am I putting myself through? I know I got to deal with pandemic shit all week, and then this is my escape. I watch this fucking terrible football team. Like, I just need something, Tom. I need something here. I'm withering away over here.
Well, why do you think I told you when we came on? When Len was like, why are you upset? They stink. And in the same conversation I'll continue to have.
Exactly.
Give me some excitement. Can we take a football away?
I need something.
Like when they fumbled the opening, like their first play of the game. When they fumbled for, like, you know, 5-yard loss or whatever, it was like, oh my God. Like, you know, and then, like, after the first drive, there was no excitement. The rest of the game, it was the same stagnant offense. It was the same defense who couldn't make the big play when they needed.
Third and 6, Adams makes a catch.
Yep.
3rd and 6, Adams makes a catch.
And Deshaun says, Tom, I agree with you. I want to see the response from benching him. I want to see if he has a heart. I want to see him come through. Yeah, and I do. But then I also owe it to my football team that I almost have to start the other guy right now. That's how bad he's been.
I want to see him play next year off of this because to me, there's no winning situation this year for Carson. We're so bad. He's not going to just come in next week and look great now after the benching. You know what I mean? Like our whole team stinks. He's not going to go, it looks great. That ain't going to happen. That ain't happening. So I'd rather just sit him the rest of the year, let Jalen play, and then we'll figure it out in the offseason.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's that type of player where he was like. I'm not saying that he's not weak minded or he had that stuff's on the back of his head that looking over his shoulder. But yeah, he's not. A benching isn't just going to magically make him play better. You know what I mean? He wasn't like he was walking around with this giant ego and puffing his chest out. You know what I mean? He's been horseshit. You know what I mean? So you just don't magically fucking fix horseshit. You know what I mean? It's just like you've been lost all year. You know what I mean? There's been glimpses and very few. You can count them on one hand. All right. So it's just time. It's just time.
Yeah, it comes. Like you said, if he was playing decent football and we just weren't winning games, it's a different conversation.
Yeah, snake bit's different than horse shit.
Yeah, like Deshaun Watson's not winning games, but Deshaun Watson's playing good football. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference. You could say like, okay, we're not winning games, but our offense is awful. It's terrible.
Like you look even like
it's
today.
It's the worst I've ever seen in a 1 month stretch. This past month is the worst offense I've seen since I started watching Eagles, and that goes back a long time.
That's what I'm saying, buddy. I mean,
worst I've seen for a month stretch. Worst I've seen.
Exactly. Without looking it up, exactly. Like you look at it and say, this might be the worst. This might be the worst offensive line and the receiving core that you maybe never seen. It's, whew, right? And like obviously, when people are going to put the receiving core on 11, you know what I mean? But come on, let's not do that either. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have, Eagles don't have Jerry Rice's running around. All right. Let's go out. Let's relax a little bit. You know what I mean?
I thought the T-shirt guy was. What were you going to say, Greg?
Well, no, you just say like
I know you didn't kill him, but that was the next drive. That wasn't the important drive.
It all goes.
It was a terrible drop. Yeah, absolutely.
It hasn't been around for 3 weeks.
The last 5 weeks of football are all the same to me.
We're still
every Monday / Tuesday, right? It's been Groundhog's Day with this football team past the Dallas game, and that was an atrocious win. You know what I mean? But it was a win. Since the Dallas game, it's been Groundhog's Day offensively and with this football team.
We're going to score a touchdown before half, dude.
No, Tommy, I was just going to say that, you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are another bad team, but at least they fight. At least they show glimpses of fighting for each other, even though they have their GM's gone, their head coach is probably gone. They fight. They play hard. Mike Glennon, the longest neck in the history of the world, not named a giraffe.
That's not true. Merton Hanks, look him up. Google
point.
Magic, Merton Hanks.
But they fight. You know what I mean? They play hard, and there's times where you look at this team and you go, do you guys even want to be here right now?
No.
I will say this, though. I totally agree with that, but I will say our D-line has played pretty well the last few weeks. It's tough to judge them on long runs late in the game when they've been on the field the whole fucking game. Our offense has done nothing. So I'm not going to kill them for the long runs late in the game. Today's was bad because it's in winning time in a close game. Last week's, I'm not going to kill them for.
Yeah,
D-line has played pretty well. Besides that, there's really not much. Alex Singleton's played pretty well.
I was mostly looking on the offensive side of the ball, which has been atrocious.
Oh, offense, there's nothing.
You know what I mean? Because there's no life up until it was a couple minutes today in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
There's zero life. They don't even care that they're getting trounced. And then it's like, oh, let's get a backdoor cover in here and let's save face a little bit. You know what I mean?
Look what Morris says. Jets' offense looks better than ours. It does.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's been. You can say Adam Gase is smarter offensive play caller than Doug Peterson. You can and Adam Gase is the worst. That's
crazy eyes himself. Old crazy eyes himself runs a better offense than Dougie.
No, Rob, we have not scored over 30 points this year. Nope.
No, that's what I'm saying. mean, you look at the Bears, you're like, oh, the Bears' offense is better. You know what I mean? So, like, when in your lifetime would you ever say that? You know, the Bears' offense has been cheeks for 30 years. You know, as long as I mean, like, you know, so it's just like, it's it's crazy. It's crazy to watch, and that's the definition of insanity, right? Continuing to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. You can't. You know what I mean? There's time to make changes, all right? That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? You watch the other two teams in your division, right? So that's why it was like everybody was holding out hope because the division was so bad. You know what I mean? But you watch those other two teams, right? The other two teams get better and better every week. Right, so that might be, say what you want about the Giants, right? You don't have to like them; they're a hated division rival, right? They're getting better and better under Judge. You know what I mean? They're getting better and better. That's a huge win today, right? I know it's not the 12th man anymore where like it used to be to go in there. You know what I mean? So but still, that's a huge win right there. And we know what Ron Rivera is bringing to the Redskins. All right, they're getting better and better every week. You know what I mean? The two teams that were supposed to be good have been horseshit. All right, and it starts with their head coaches. Both head coaches have been horseshit. Right? Injuries have played into that factor as well. But Dallas was losing games when Dak was healthy too. Oh, by the way, you know what I mean? So it's just
coaches have been horseshit is number one there, Sweeps. Absolutely. Horse shit.
Rich says Tom Wentz has lost 4 straight games. If Hurts and the Eagles win the last 4 games, is he your starter in 2021? No, I'm not making that.
You think we're going to win the last 4
I
games?
hope we don't win the last 4 games. Stop that talk, Richard.
I'll win
Stop that talk.
First off, Greg, shut the fuck up. I hate you fucking nerds. All right,
I'm not even talking.
I don't want to watch the
pick
Eagles
nerd
loss
wise.
ever. I don't care. I root for the Eagles to win. I don't root for them to lose ever. I don't give a fuck. And all you nerds can fucking at me. I don't give a fuck. I always root for them to win. I don't care if they're 1-13. I want them to win their last 2. Suck a dick.
It ain't even nerd talk. It's just nothing's going to change if you win the last 4.
I don't care.
And this team needs
Greg,
change.
Nothing's changing anyway, Greg.
You might be right.
Change.
But I want a disaster to force it.
Newsflash for you, Greg. It ain't going to change. Howie and Doug will be here next year. So sorry to tell you, that's what's going to happen. And so will Carson, and so will Jalen. So nothing's changing, guys. But I don't want to root for the Eagles to lose. I hope to God he wins the next 4 games. That would be awesome. Is it going to happen? No fucking chance in hell. No chance in hell that's going to happen. We play the Saints tomorrow. If you think we're going to come out and beat the Saints next week with how they're playing defensively, oh my God, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one to pick. I got the Eagles. Yeah, we're going to jail. I don't care who you're starting. I mean, like I said, that when we get excited,
the Saints are a fucking machine right now, dude. The Saints defense, at least. I know Taysom's running around making some plays. Actually threw the ball pretty well today. But the Saints defense is shutting everybody down.
They locked down like Ridley and Julio Jones.
Like on lock today.
The Eagles couldn't even make like they could have those 2 guys if you put all 6 of the receivers together. They couldn't get a Julio or Ridley. You know what I mean? And the Saints were like, yeah, we're okay with that. Really got us hungry.
You take regular speed, Alshon's hands, fucking Fulgham's height, and you still don't have either one of them.
Oh, well, you know what? You could actually say, you know what? We'll let you play. We'll let you go. We'll let you play with extra guys on the field. Put all your wideouts on the field at once. We'll still cover you. You know what I mean? That's about what it's come to here. You know what I mean? Like you could literally have like all 6 wideouts or 5 that you dress. Hey, all you guys get out there and the running backs and the tight ends. I still want to get open, or take forever to get open, or this offensive line would get blown up, or Carson would be looking down a receiver and not making the right decision. You know what I mean? Like all these things still would be happening. I feel like because it's just been a microcosm of like this has gone bad. This has gone bad. This has gone bad. Right. So to me, I agree with you, Wells. I mean, like, yeah, sure. Like, if they go win 4 games, like, I'm never waking up on a Sunday hoping they lose. It's not how I operate. But at the end of the day, like, if they lose out, I'm fine. If they decide they want to play some football, I'm fine.
I think they'll fuck the pickup anyway. But I hear you.
No, they will. That's why until Howie Roseman isn't here, I'm not excited about a pick anywhere in the draft. You can tell me you have 1 overall, and I'll say, yeah, I'm not jacked up about it. He'll miss. But what I'm saying to you is I always wake up to win when it comes to the Eagles, regardless of the situation. And listen, they came out and played good football over 4 games and won 4. Good for them. No shot it's happening. But good for them. You know what I mean? Because maybe it might save Doug's job. But, I think at the end of the day, you win, you lose, whatever, that the change of your general manager needs to happen. And I know it won't. I know you're going to tell me it's not, but I'm going to continue to yell from the rooftops because of his misses on draft day that I need a change in there. I need a change. And you can't be all in the win this year like they were cap-wise going in the next year and not be a better product than you've been. You can't be this atrocious when you're that up against it money-wise next year. You can't be that atrocious since you won a Super Bowl in 2017 and you flat out regress as an organization and a roster, etc. You can't. You can't.
I agree. I mean, but like I said, those two, they should always just be linked. That's all. And I mean, that's when you clean house, you clean house. You know what I mean? To Willie's point earlier, and I want to steal his thunder. I'll let him have that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to put 3 guys in there. You know what I mean? So you take this exact team as constructed and everything that's happened, and you put Belichick, Tomlin, Andy Reid with a headset on. You know what I mean? How does it look? I don't know.
We're in first in the division.
We don't have a crystal ball, but
we're in first in the division.
I think it's better than I think it'll be better than 3-8-1. I'd be willing to put my neck on a line and say with any of those 3 guys. You know what I mean? So, it comes a point in time where it's like, I understand the Super Bowl, gives you some leeway, and you repeatedly said like he hasn't forgotten how to coach, but I feel like he has. You know what I mean? So I don't. It's just you went. Whether it's, Howie, we know, and Howie needs to go too, you know what I mean? But you went, you drafted a punt returner in the first round, all right, and the second round you drafted a specialist, you know what I mean? So it's like the University of the Philadelphia Eagles, all right? So at some point you have to figure out how to use those guys. Once you have that in your cupboard, right, and now it's your job as coaches to figure it out, right? That was the first time the dude returned a punt since what, week 1? Because he dropped one. I mean, it's nice. I mean, I know he was hurt a couple times, but I mean, you want to smack him on the nose with a newspaper? I mean, that's what he fucking does best. I mean, Christ, and it's unbelievable. 13 weeks later, let's try it. 13 weeks later, let's try it. I mean, I'm fucking.
Listen, I'm the first one here saying he's done a terrible job coaching this year. But I'm also going to say like the same thing I say about Carson. Like I don't feel like Carson forgot how to play football. And I don't feel like Doug forgot how to be a good leader of men and have his football team ready to play. I will say that he's took on too much responsibility. I don't want my coach calling plays anyway. I want my coach worried about football, right? You should be able to hire a guy who you trust enough to be able to call the plays. All right? That's how it should work. All right? There's enough smart guys out there that you should be able to trust a guy, up in the booth or on the sideline with you calling plays. All right? And if you want to take it sometimes and call a quarter here and there, go right ahead. You're the head coach, right? But I feel like when head coaches try to take on that responsibility, they fail. And we're watching it fail right in front of our eyes because I think you tried to bring in all these like offensive guys to like make up for not having a coordinator, but you have no coordinator besides you. So what's the point of all these guys? What's the point of Scandarello and Marty Morningway and all the other jackasses you brought in here if one's not going to be your everyday offensive coordinator? So that's an ego to me. I don't like that. Like, and I also said, yeah, I'd wait a year for Doug, but if this team kept playing this kind of football, that starts to go away for me too this year. Because, you know what I mean? Like, if you continue to come out week in, week out, and you're not ready to go, then guess what? A lot's on you. Yep. So that also was left up for grabs in a way where I could not retract and give it another year, but say, oh, you know what? Over the last 5 weeks, you finish the season, another 5 weeks, that'd be like 9 weeks of horrendous football. There's no way I can tell anybody that dude deserves a job for another year, regardless of what he did in the years prior. You know what I mean? Unless he just came off a Super Bowl the year before, the Super Bowl is irrelevant at that point because it looks like your team's checked out on you, right? And the second I feel like your team's checked out, unless I'm planning on flipping the whole goddamn roster over, then he's got to go. So you know what I'm saying? Like that can be like changed real easy if shit football continues. Like right now, yeah. Like right now, if you again, gun to my head, I'd probably say it's time to let him go. Now throughout the week that could change where I calm down, but right now it's like how can I defend that? Just like how can I defend Carson? Can't defend any of it. Can't defend poor play. Can't defend bad coaching. Can't defend the bad roster. I can't defend any of it. And I know, the conversation was like we thought this roster was better. Well, we did. and guys got hurt. It didn't help anything, and it's not deep, right? And the skill position players that we thought we had offensively aren't as good as we thought they were, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Even before Alshon came back, like we thought we'd have Deshaun maybe healthy for a little bit. We thought we got Reagor. We knew we had Hurts and Goddard, and we expected Goddard to get. We got Miles, right? Like we thought we had weapons.
Yeah. That's always a narrative. Is there enough footballs going on?
Yeah, remember? So it's like all them guys either just all had a bad year together, or they're just all not good enough. And I don't have that answer right now. I'm hard pressed to say that they're just not good enough. People get all up and on about Miles Sanders.
Go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, give him touches. I'm all for running the football today. I said you need to run the football to win this game. I couldn't yell that and scream that more. And they tried to at the beginning, and then they went away from it like they do. Credit to Rodgers and the Packers because they struck quick after that sack. You know what I mean? It was bang, bang, 14-3. So, credit to them. And it took the game away from you because you can't do anything offensively. But, even when he does get carries, there hasn't been, he can lead the league in yards and all that. But your eyes are telling you it's like, eh. And guess what? The offensive line in front of him is banged up too. So it's like, this week was a really like, hey, I need Miles and Carson to have big weeks. And, obviously he didn't get the touches to have a big week. And, Carson did get the touches, and we saw how that went.
And to your point, that's why I always put it, players play, but that's why to me, I always swing back around to coaching to your point of saying, about everybody having a bad year. Like, what's the chances that you might have, for that to happen pretty much in sports, you probably had a better chance to hit the lottery, for everybody to have a bad year, So if that is the case, so when that happens, or if that's happening, that's like, hey man, that's all, what are we doing here coach wise? Are we putting them in the right spots to succeed? Are we making adjustments? Are we, what are we doing here? Do we have the right personnel in? It's like, what's the chances that everybody's having a fucking terrible year? I'm just saying, I know it can happen, but like, wow, it's got to be like 1%.
Yeah.
0.5%.
Even, like I said, even in baseball, the chances of all 9 guys hitting at once, we know that, but never do is it never very rare that like all 9 guys aren't hitting,
The only reason it would be rare in this situation is because all your best players, like offensively, like the guys that you like really thought could be impactful this year, have all missed time, like every one of them. So then you're out of sync, right? Or you're not fully healthy. Right, like I've heard that about
Carson.
Except for Carson. He's the only one. He's the only one who's been there the whole time. So, like, that's the only thing.
Isn't that ironic?
Thanks, Alanis.
Don't you think?
That's the funny part, right, guys? Like, all these guys have been banged up, which could be part of the reason why guys have down years. You're missing time, different things like that. Football's obviously tough when you miss time. And I guess to get fully healthy, you can tell Alshon's not there yet. He can't even run. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's not even an impactful guy a little bit.
I don't think he's going to be back, Tommy.
Yeah, I can't even believe he's on the field.
It's amazing. He looks like
and money. I get all the the other stuff.
I would just run a couple of 6-yard curls for him. Just get the ball by his hands, maybe fall over. 3rd and 4 is good for him.
Yeah, he has to push off.
He's got nothing else.
He has to push off just to get open. It's like,
he's got nothing else.
He was laughing about it like, I was hoping you didn't see that, ref. But I saw it.
Could have did away with the laugh for me. You know what I mean? Could have avoided the laugh. Like, wasn't in the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Like, appreciate you not laughing right now because nobody's thought it was funny.
Yeah, I'm not laughing.
Taylor says, I watched the Vikings and Jags play today. Jaguars sitting at 1 win, playing with more heart than this team. Yeah. And guess where that goes to, man? That goes back to the coaching. So, like, if he loses a locker room, then they can, like, he gets the last 4 games and they got to play. I don't care. I'm not talking division or anything like that. They just got to play better to save his job. Because if they play like this over the next 4 weeks, he's probably going to get fired. You know what I mean? And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
And that's what Greg was saying earlier. Like, just it's like, wins and losses, they happen in in sports, you know what I mean? But your competitive drive and you're not even competitive. You're not even fucking playing hard. That's what it looks like. You know what I mean? So whether you are or not, we're just telling you what the optics, what we see. We see a team that looks, has no heart, no desire, doesn't want to be there, is not prepared, is not ready to go for the, Willie's, been on record saying for 2 years now. But let's, who knows the exact time frame of that, right? But that's what it feels like. Right? That's what it feels like to us. You know what I mean? Like to have a 3-0 lead today was like, whoa, stop the press.
Holy shit!
When's the last time the fucking Eagles had a lead? It's got to be, maybe 2017.
October. It was in October. I'll tell you that. We didn't have a lead all November.
Let me ask you guys, like right now, do you fire him?
Yes.
No. Let me give you a caveat. There's a little, that there's about
Let's hear the caveat.
Well, there's probably about 10
The
teams.
Eagles, there's always a caveat.
There's
You want to trade them? Is that what you're saying?
No. There's I'm just saying there's about 10.
You can trade coaches. That is possible.
There's about 10 teams that are looking for head coaches right now. So now you're not that that's a bad thing. I mean, if if you're smart enough as an organization to be able to hire the right guy, you'll find them. You know what I mean? So
I got guys I like.
No, of course, I got guys I like too. I've been looking, but at the end of the day, the only thing, and I think this is sweet. This is what I was saying too this week.
You've been studying coaching film. Have you been studying coaching film? I see you. Good for you.
Coaching notes.
Hashtag no film.
Hey, I like the way that guy holds that menu. I like the way that guy holds right in that fucking menu.
You know what? He hasn't
can't
put
see his lips move.
He
I don't
hasn't
know
put
what
his
play
mask down once. This guy follows rules properly. Big fan. Not going to get any fines out of this guy.
But like the thing is like I would maybe give him that leash if I didn't think that if my guy wasn't out there this year as an organization. You know what I mean? That's the only way organizationally. If that I would make that like little caveat.
Wait. So you wouldn't fire him because the guy that you want to replace him with isn't available? That's what you're saying?
No. Or the fact that this, Wells.
That's just a terrible reason for a guy to keep his job. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay,
but
if the guy's out there that we like, right?
Well, there's guys out there.
Just listen to me. If the guy's out there that we like, all right, this isn't a destination for them because they look at the roster or because A, B, C, and D, or they want to go to the Jets because they're going to get the number 1 pick and maybe it's Lawrence, or they want to go AB because it's the number 1 pick and it's going to be Lawrence, whoever, right? So it affects us maybe being able to get the guy that maybe we want because so many teams are out there looking for a head coach, right, this year.
Okay, I understand that.
They have a track record of winning games, so you hope that maybe, all right, dude, you had a shitty year. We'll cough it up to 2020, and we'll see if you rebound next year. And then if you don't, I'll fire you mid-season. You know what I'm saying?
But I would think organizationally, if you look at it, if I'm looking at it from a guy that's, let's say a college coach right now or whatever, you look at it like the Eagles have a good organization. That's what you would look at it like, oh, I mean, they've been perennially in the playoffs. Maybe this is where I want to go rather than go to a team that's perennially not in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
True. I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. There's two ways. Greg,
see, the guys I like are in the college ranks right now. That's all I'm saying.
Greg.
I might ask. Talk the first 25 minutes, so I'm gonna get something in. But the guys I like are in the college ranks. I feel like you can entice them if you want to any team.
So now you're talking about me talking when you've interrupted me your whole life, and now you're not going to interrupt me. I
didn't interrupt you early.
I talk until I get interrupted. Somebody just say something. I mean, you know what I mean? And you guys do a great job of saying something. But, at the beginning I was hot, and you didn't interrupt one time. Credit to you. I mean, you did for the wrong reasons. You did over the Chief instead of interrupting me about Eagle stuff. And listen, there's nothing to talk about now.
Well, that was absurd, though.
Yeah, no, the chair is comfortable. You know what I mean? It's Greg's, not mine. I take no credit for the chair, but it is. It's tough to get out of. DB time, we are not very good. To be good.
It's an understatement there.
Has handicap cuff stuff. Yeah, okay. I mean, sure. I mean, the NFL is weird. I mean, you can be good in a year. You can be bad one year and come back and be good the next year. It happens. So I'm not going to say that like we're automatically not going to be good next year. I got to see next year's roster. I got to see the direction this football team's going before I'm like, yeah, we're going to be bad for 2 more years. Book it. No, you can't do that. You know what I mean? If this team had 2 top 5 picks and hit on both of them, we're not bad the next year. You know what I mean? We're not bad. So
it's the one great thing about the NFL is that a team goes from worst to first every year. Literally, I think for 12 or 13 straight seasons now, a team is going from worst to first in one of the divisions every year. That's the one great thing about the league. Most games are decided by about 5 plays.
no, they are. Sweeps, would you fire him right now? I think you said yeah. I know Greg said yeah. I didn't even go to Greg.
Well, we
No,
know what Craig said.
I got pink slips all over my car, all over my body, all that, all kinds of, all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, I just don't put up with, I understand it's, sports and you deal with stuff, but, when you have no fight and you have no, and you don't look like you're competing like that falls on you. You know what I mean? When guys are, if guys are quitting and you lost the locker room, and I understand he's, for his tenure up until this year, he's a leader of men and ice cream and all that good stuff. But I don't see it. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, with 4 games left, I mean, what's the point? So you might as well just, finish it out. Might as well just fucking keep driving the fucking Titanic, and maybe he only hits a side of the iceberg. Maybe you don't fucking square the iceberg up. I don't know. All right, but that's it. He's got 4 games left in his tenure here. You know what I mean? Like I've seen enough of both of them. You know what I mean? The whole upstairs, everybody is fucking going. It's gonna be you walk around and you be like, you next year
with name tags.
Yeah, I was gonna say next year. Fucking get out of my head. Next year there'll be name tags all over the place because you don't even fucking know nobody. It's gonna take you a while. To fucking know fucking 100 people.
Everybody, even the catering company, everybody's new. Everybody's new.
Yep, guy that makes copies. No, I don't like that. You're making terrible copies.
Nope. See ya.
The ink you're using. That's it. You're out.
A little too much salt in the chicken.
Yeah.
The kitchen staff's gone. Everybody's gone.
Guy that cleans the fucking suites. I know there was no fans this year, but I don't like the way the suites were cleaned. That's it. Fucking go. That's it.
The one tricky thing though about the whole scenario is Doug obviously is at next year's the last year of his deal. So you would think that if you bring him back, he would want some sort of extension in order to come back. Because in fairness to Doug, and Doug's got to do that for himself too, because he's just a lame duck coach then. Then anything goes wrong, he's gone anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's a really tricky scenario. He's going to want a contract extension, or he's just going to leave.
Listen, I'm a Doug guy. I'm not giving him an extension right now.
No.
So you know what I'm saying? That's where I stand on it. Like he hasn't done. I mean, what I've witnessed this year, I'd be a jackass to extend that. You know what I mean? Like regardless of what your past is. Like I mean, this is bad football. This is bad. So I mean, this is. I can't extend this. I'll give you the 1 year you got left on your deal. But you know what I mean? You want to, coach better. You won't be a lame duck. You know what I mean? Coach better. Then you're not a lame duck. So, I mean, he has the funny thing is now he went from so much backing him for that extension to this year. And this year, he's got nothing to stand on. You don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, I'll extend him a handshake. Thank you for 2017 and see ya.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think to me, 2017 now kind of gets more chalked up to a group effort by the coaching staff than more than Doug really doing a whole lot, because it's just, to me, I don't see how you could go from such a high to such a low. Our team hasn't been ready to play in 2 years. I know I've been saying that for a couple weeks now, but we haven't. We haven't. When the fuck have we looked good in the first half in 2 years? We haven't.
No, 1 game.
And that means that's prepping for a game. Usually halftime you make adjustments to what's happened already in the game. So prepping for a game, he's terrible. Which to me, that's coaching. Then you can't coach.
Yeah, like I said.
The first 15 scripted plays should be plays that work. Fuck.
You're right, brother. I mean, like I said, the two lightning rods, the two lightning rods that in the National Football League at all times are the head coach and the quarterback. You know what I mean? So, and they're the and rightfully so. That's how the business works. You know what I mean? So, when you're talking about in Philadelphia, you're talking about it's up until this year it was all about Foles, even though he was out of town. You know what I mean? That was always the whispers, the whisper. All right, Frank Reich's out of town. Whisper. You know what I mean? It's just and it's gonna continue. When you lose and you don't play well, people reach for all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? So now in this year when you're 3-8-1 and you just have looked awful. You know what I mean? You're not losing games. Hey man, what a tough loss that was. You see that bounce. Terrible call by the ref. You know what I mean? Like, had that been a game-winning, had that been a game-tying drive or a game-winning drive, when Miles broke that and there was a fucking bullshit holding call on Salamula, all right, then you're like, oh man, we're just snake bitten, you know what I mean? But that was Jalen's first drive, after he dropped the dime in he dropped that out of a hot air balloon, and then Miles breaks that and it fucks up the whole drive because it was a bullshit call, you know what I mean? So if you were dealing with a lot of stuff like that, and you're like, oh man, we're really snake bitten, you know what I mean? There's no excuse for how piss poor this play has been from pillar to post. You know what I mean? Like you said, you're lucky to win 3 games. You know what I mean? And you're not going to go woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know what I mean? But Evan Ingram catches that ball. Now you're at 2 wins. You know what I mean? Like San Fran was really banged up. I know the Eagles are banged up too. I get it. You know what I mean? But that's the end. And
Cincinnati blew that tie.
Yeah, and obviously
Cincinnati blew the tie.
And how bad Dallas is. So man, this team can easily be
1-10.
1-10, 1-10 or 1-11.
1-11. Sorry, 1-11.
Yep.
Fucking A, Sweeps. No, that's 100% right. Look, you can't justify us winning the game this year, except the Dallas game, and we didn't even play well in that game. That game was shit.
Yeah.
Dallas just happened to be more shit than us.
Yep.
Yeah, but a quarterback who doesn't even belong to win.
That's what I'm saying. If
the
Rocket plays, you probably lose that game.
We definitely lose that game.
Or even what's eating Gilbert Grape. Like if he plays, we probably lose.
You knew that DiNucci was a problem when the fucking owner of the team is like, we had to play fucking Ben DiNucci. Did you see that last week? Denver was like, we didn't have a quarterback, and Jerry was like, we had to play Ben DiNucci 1 week, and that was against us. Thank God.
Stop your crying.
At least we got the fucking Cowboys W. I only can sleep at night. No, I'm not driving to the wall ready to jump off the bench. We beat the Cowboys at least. Fuck.
That's great. Jerry was like, rule number 120, shut up and play like a champion. Stop crying.
No, we would have got blown out in that game, probably. Honestly, the way we played offensively.
It definitely got beaten, that's for sure.
So, I said after that game, like, hey. Oh, Peanut.
Hello.
Get him an EpiPen. Get him an EpiPen.
Heimlich.
Guy's blowing up like Hitch. Get him an EpiPen.
This guy's goddamn chair so far back, it's almost out the window.
Trying to tell you. The guy warned you earlier. Don't kick back.
Well, yeah, I'm not even kicking.
I mean, I'm sure there's. I'm sure he's formed a good spot for himself. It's probably broken. It's probably broken in. It's broken into Greg.
Yeah, as a guy that's broken an A2D chair, you know what I mean? There's nothing like a good ass pit. Nothing like a good ass pit, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, that was that's about a 4-year rewind right now, but epic that Uncle Sweeps broke the first chair in the studio that was broken. And if you've seen the roster, that's easy a plus 3,000 bet that Sweeps breaks the first chair.
30 Sports Guy, I'm out. Too many idiots in this chat. Have a good night, Tom and fam. See you, brother.
See you, nerdy. Thanks, brother.
That's why I don't read some of them, brother. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I got that done. Yeah, I feel like
keep commenting, though, idiots. We love the comments.
Yeah, Rock. They're tied at the hip, man, and they're playing and coaching like they're tied at the hip. So, Listen, if I'm gonna be critical of one, I'm gonna be sure as hell critical of both. And right now, they both could go. You know what I mean? Like I keep telling, I said this last week after that loss, and now it's just another week of the same shit. So I mean, they can both go. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that these guys deserve to be that I want these guys moving forward. Either one of them. And I love Carson and I love Doug, but I also love winning games.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I love winning games a lot more.
That's fun.
I love winning games a lot more than personal feelings. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. My allegiances lie to the Eagles. So I don't give a fuck about anybody. I just want if we can win games, that's all I care about.
Well, before we move, we'll move on in a little bit. We'll keep talking.
I also want to chime into one thing, Tommy, before you change it. Justin Jefferson, another huge game today, went over 1,000 yards, and I'm just done with the comparisons. At least we saw a little glimpse from Reagor today on the punt return. Nice play. That's a good thing. But, I mean, at this point, you got to be upset that we didn't take Jefferson.
Cordell Patterson returned punts, too.
I don't want to hear Levon or Moron or whatever the fuck his name is tell me anything more about fucking how Reagor was the correct pick. Clearly, there's a guy with 1,000 yards through 12 weeks. I think it's happened like 4 times in the history of the NFL. Pretty good selection by them. Bad pick by us. We should have taken him.
Yeah,
and system or not, he seems to be open all the time.
Yeah, dude, listen, bottom line is Reagor's covered and Jefferson running open. So I don't know what you want to say.
I don't care what routes he's running. He's open all the time.
Greg,
they might have called Chris Hogan 7-Eleven a couple years ago, but fucking Jefferson, he's fucking selling Slurpees. That's for sure.
He's always open. He was always open in college, too, which is funny. Yeah. But everybody gave that credit to Jamar Chase, and now everybody wants to give the credit to Theo. And nah, dude's just open. Dude can play. But guess what? I'll tell you one thing. Cordell Patterson can return punts, too. That aged well for him on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So, like, return, you being a punt returner and being electric is different than being a wide receiver and being electric. I just want to inform the people out there. Say, oh, get him bubble screens. They did, and he got blown up last week every time they threw him a bubble screen. Not this week, last week. Last week, they threw him like 2 bubble screens and a jet sweep, and he looked like he was moving in slow motion. Today, they gave him an end around, or no, the jet sweep, and no, it was the end. It was like an end around or some sort.
End around today, yeah.
Yeah, an end around. Guy looked like he's running with cement in his shoes. So, I mean, 11 yards looked like it felt 20 minutes. So, all I'm saying
he looks fast on the return. I'll give him that.
Fast on the return, but some guys are good return guys and not good wide receivers. You know what I mean? So, all I'm saying is, as a wide receiver, yeah, he made the one good catch down the sideline. That was a good catch from Hurts. I don't want to take that away from him. So, whatever. I mean, I hope the guy can play, dude. It's just
listen, I'm an Eagles fan. I want him to be good.
Yeah,
I'm just saying at this point we took the wrong guy.
I mean, I'm sitting there staring at a guy who had 100 catches in the best conference in college football, and I'm like, this guy just feels better. He fits us where we're going. Where are we going? The 3 points and 3 quarters? Where the fuck are we going?
You know what? He'll probably get a punt return touchdown before receiving one this year. I feel like this is the guy we want. This is the guy.
He does have a receiving touchdown before the punt return. But
I know. I'm sorry.
Yes. No. Yes. I don't want to discredit him too much here because he blocks you on Instagram if you do, or certain platforms because he can't handle the heat.
Well, that's number one. That's number one that I know he'll stink then. Right there. You can't handle the heat and get out the kitchen, sweetheart.
I do like him making a play, though, and I do like him catching.
Absolutely.
And I do like him catching a ball down the sidelines because I thought that's what he did well. That's what I was told. Everybody who was freaking blowing him told me, "Hey, Tom, he's explosive." Okay,
it's the first time that he actually got a little bit of separation. You know what I mean? So that was a great ball. You know what I mean? You're glad. Jalen stuck it in his face mask. You know what I mean? So for his first drive and his first throw, not first throw in his career, but first throw in that game. You know what I mean? He stuck that right in his face mask. You know what I mean? He couldn't have dropped that.
No, Matt says Josh Huff could return kicks and punts. Yeah, I'm not impressed. Reagor still stinks. Can't run a route to save his life. Good job on the deep play, but he missed that same ball in the end zone from Wentz last week. So big fucking deal. And I agree with you, Matt. I mean, I didn't draft to be a gadget. I don't draft at 21 to be a gadget.
Yeah. This is, you knock on our door. It's like New England clam chowder. We'll let you in.
The red or the white?
I can never remember this.
We're all Jefferson guys. So when Matt, you knock on this door, we'll let you in, buddy. You ain't gonna get an argument. You ain't gonna get an argument from us.
Water's warm, Matt.
some other story. Some other shows, maybe, they'll tell you they play him in the slot and they split him out, and he's the X and he's the O and he's the Y and he's the Z and he's the fucking Y banana. You can play.
I'll take that fucking banana.
What he is fucking open.
I'll get turbulent.
He's open.
Yeah.
And they're trying to tell me that, of course they're using like that feeling on the other side and the way they design plays for him. Everyone bags on Kirk Cousins. Kirk's getting him the ball. Kirk's getting him the ball. What the fuck?
Kirk stinks too.
Bottom line is the dude's out there balling. He's wide open.
They go through the list. It's opposite of Thale and where they're playing.
They
better quarterback play.
They sing plays for him. Shut up, nerd. You fucking nerd.
We're not debating that it's better quarterback play this year, but like, when's the last time you ever said that in your lifetime? You know what I mean? About Kirk Cousins.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll blow that Y banana right now, though. Like, I would turbulence talk that banana. I mean, that's how, no, I'm just saying. Jefferson over what we had. You want just a banana.
I don't know why he went right there with it.
DB Cooper, see you, brother.
Bleeps that banana, and I was just saying, like, I'll take that Y banana right now.
Where'd you hide the money, DB?
X, Y, C, D, E, F, G. I don't care what position he plays. Does he get open? That's all that matters.
That's all that matters to me, Tommy. Does he get open and catch the ball? Oh, it looks like he can play receiver then.
Tristan says he's still, he's saying he still wants to believe in Wentz. He said the sad part is I still want to believe Wentz has talent. I think we all do.
He does have talent. It doesn't just evaporate into thin air. Right now it's broken. I think anyone that's watching can see it's broken. It's not working. That's why he's got to sit him down. And hopefully next year he comes out of it because he's played well in the past. It wasn't like a fluke. Like, he hasn't played well since 2017. That's not true. Played well last year. Played well the year before when he was healthy. It's the fact that right now it's broken and he looks broken. So you just got to sit him down. He
does look broken. There was a comment a couple minutes ago, and it may have been longer than I thought, about a team absorbing Wentz's contract. I think there are teams out there that would trade for him. The problem is the dead cap to us.
Yeah, that's the killer, Greg.
You're right. It is 1 year, yes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, right now, the issue isn't a team absorbing Wentz's contract. I think a team... Yeah. There's teams out there that are in need of a quarterback that would trade. The problem is you'd have to have Lurie and or whoever the GM is sign off on having $59 million.
Right, I thought it was $34 million, right?
34.
That's his cap hit.
Yeah.
That's his cap hit. The dead cap though is $60 million.
No, I think it's 34. But
that's his salary cap hit.
I thought it was
but
34.
The dead cap, if you trade or release him, is $60 million.
Okay, I mean that doesn't sound right to me, but I know it's a huge number.
Well, that could be over.
60 is crazy. I didn't think it was that high.
Yeah,
I know it's a huge number.
34 is what I've heard before.
I know for a fact, though, Greg, you are 100% correct that teams would definitely take him because his contract, if you look at it, is if you think he's your franchise guy, he doesn't have a bad franchise quarterback contract.
Right.
He doesn't. But the cap hit's what kills us. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that cap hit would be for 1 year. And you just eat it if you think
if your return is huge, then you eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I don't think that happens.
Neither do I.
I just think that's too much money for an organization that's already in cap hell. Now, if they were even with the cap and they were expecting to get rid of veterans and move on from guys, I would say, yeah, they can do it. I don't know if they can even fill a roster that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you put a roster. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you'd have to hit 6 draft picks, and we ain't doing that. So,
we need more than that with that kind of money. $60 million, you might for 1 year, you're going to need more than this picks. You know what I mean? Like, and I said to people before, they were like, "Well, why is Travis Fulgham doesn't get more snaps than Alshon does?" And it's strictly money because one guy's already getting paid a lot of money. The other guy, they don't want to pay a lot of money, right? They want to be able to say, you know what, you had your numbers didn't produce after a certain time, so now we can bring you back for cheaper because that's what fucking nerds do. So if you don't think that's a call from up top, if people don't think that the way Doug Peterson answered the question about Alshon told me everything I need to know and where that comes from. Yeah, everything I need to know. The way he just answered it in his presser told me
game plan for everybody. We got 5 receivers and we game plan for all of them. That's what he said.
Because he's telling you that
Are you watching fucking Alshon? He's fucking stuck in honey. Guy's fucking got his feet stuck in honey, bro. I mean, come on. He's not going anywhere.
Might be worse than honey.
I ain't game planning
some
shit
worse.
for him. Yeah. I ain't game planning shit for him, bro, except for the red zone. And maybe let him jump up. But I don't even know if he can jump up anymore.
I would, and that's the funny thing. So the GM's making the calls on this, like we thought. Because the thing about the money reasons. You know what I mean? The GM saying no, because I want to be able to keep him in control for even less money next year when I'm already paying the other guy $20 million, put him on the field. You know what I mean? Get him on the field. I believe all them reports early on in the year. Now, that doesn't change how you coach. So maybe Doug wants out. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why it's just been like a check out on him. You know what I mean? Maybe he wants out from everything that's happened from February on here. Where, you say, oh, yeah, Mike Groh's back and so-and-so's back, and the next day they're fired. You know what I mean? Like the organization pulled the rug out from you. So maybe you're pissed off. And maybe you're pulling a Zach Ertz where you're upset with the organization. So it's hurting your play on the field, which we're not fans of here. Nothing should affect your coaching.
But no, I hear you. And I'm not saying it's not the
Nothing
case.
should affect you coaching is what I'm trying to say, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So pride gene should always kick in and you should do your job. You know what I mean? If you want to gripe and bitch, bring that shit up after the draft. You know what I mean? Force their hand. Force Howie to fire you and basically say, I wanted no parts of these guys. These aren't, we're not on the same page. That was not, I wanted to go in a different direction. That's it. And you say to yourself, well, Sweeps, that's a stupid idea because you're throwing people under the bus. Hey, tough shit. Then you protect yourself. And when you're in a situation like this, when maybe you aren't as good as some people thought, right? Then it falls right back in Howie's lap. And it's like you're saying, hey, it was 100% him. You know what I mean? Like he had final say.
No, you're right. And I would if I thought I was going anyway in some fashion, right? I would.
Sling that mud.
But you're right. The only opposite Sweeps of your pride gene coming in, if you have such a big ass ego because you won a Super Bowl and you went on a book tour and you're still on that book tour, where the ego gets involved and it affects your coaching too. So it affects your want to. I think what I watched with this organization over this past year is we realized that there's too many of these guys that have egos that don't sit down at the table and talk to each other like the Sixers do, right? Like we've already heard Doc Rivers talk about, there isn't a move we make that we're all not sitting there making it together. And that's what you want. And I don't know when this Eagles organization has gone in that different direction, guys. And I'm curious. But it does, and sometimes it does make you think that, Doug was in the Jalen Reagor camp. Doug was in the Jalen Hurts camp. You know what I mean? And then you get them weird stories that come out that make you think that he is in that camp with Howie. So you don't know if there's a tug of war here in this organization. You just don't know. And that's the thing that, listen, winning cures everything. I said it this past week coming in this week. If you somehow figured out a way to beat Green Bay, which was a tall task, winning cures a lot of things. And we wouldn't be having this conversation we're having, at 10:26 tonight about an atrocious football team. And for the first time, me saying, you know what? I mean, I did say that last week that I would fire him Monday night. That I'd fire Doug. But I would literally move on from everything. I literally would. I'd blow it all up. Start from scratch. You're up against the cap anyway. Who cares? Throw a wash year in there. Where we're getting a top 5 pick, top 10 pick 2 years in a row because we need an influx of talent, right? Whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. What do you guys?
And you know what? To back that up, Tommy, it's not like the Chiefs are in our division. Our division stinks too. So maybe you can throw it away, put something back together, and still compete.
Yeah. What's up, AJ? What's up, Gavin? What's up, Tristan? What's up, Dick Hole Enterprises? What up, Chester?
Wow.
Adrian, Ryan, Richard.
Dick Hole Enterprises, really?
Yeah, it's great.
It's on YouTube.
Prism.
I just saw a couple comments.
Old Dick Hole.
Prism in the house. Rod in the house. Kevin. Already pre-mentioned Dick Hole Enterprises. Prism, I think I already said so. And there's tons of
old. Say it again. Never gets old.
Never gets old.
Prism was a great old channel.
Oh yeah, well, the Prism and Dickhole Enterprises never gets old.
Back in their prime, Prism and Dickhole Enterprises.
Prism and Dickhole went hand in hand back in the day.
a little stranger love. I see you.
Soon as the Sixers or Flyers were over, they were like, "You got to change the channel."
That's it.
Prism hops to softcore porn real quick, quick. 10 o'clock hits. It's fucking Cinderella and her snapping pussies on. Yeah. What happened?
That's it. Switch to your left hand. A little stranger love. A little stranger love.
I'm for the first time, I'm done. For the first time, it's like, you know what? We really need talent. And the only way we're going to get it with our cap situation is hitting some picks. So the higher picks you can get me the next year or two going into this year. Nice, Wells.
Yes, sir.
Going into this year and next year, the better. So if you can give me high picks, I'm all in.
Speaking of that, I just want real quick, the top 5 dead cap hits. These are not their salary cap. This is the dead cap is the amount that would remain with the team's cap should the player be traded or released. Carson, $59.2 million. Lane, $39 million. Javon Hargrave, $22 million. Darius Slay, $21.7 million. And Fletcher Cox, $21 million. Those are your top 5 dead cap hits if you trade or release them.
Is absurd.
What that is that's all the bonuses that Howie dates back that you obviously have to pay out sometime.
What are the script?
Those are your top 5. 4 of those guys you would think should be your best players.
Greg, you know what's funny before I go take a piss real quick? You know what's hysterical?
Well, they are.
Greg, you know
what I'm saying? Like, you would hope to build around them.
None of them are playing well. But I mean, Fletcher's been all right.
Greg, think about this, Greg. Think about this, to your point, right? Like, how much of a fucking ego do you have as an organization, right? To pay a quarterback $100 million and to think your roster is good enough where you can draft another one in the second round. To think how much of a fucking ego do you must have in the room to think you're the smartest guy around and your roster is better than everybody else's so I can get cute in the second round. All right? When name an organization that gets that cute, that thinks they're that much smarter than everybody else. I don't know any. None of them do it. You want to talk about in the third round? You want to talk about in the fourth round? Fine. Second round is where you get starter talent, dude.
And especially when the next 5 guys in the draft would have played for us day one.
Yeah. Chin, anybody you name in the second round. There's like 10 guys in the second round I can name off the top of my head that would start right now for us. That's how bad we are. And Jalen Hurts might start for us now too. So, full circle. I mean, Jalen's starting for us now too, probably. So we did get the starter in the second round, just in the wrong way. But how much of a goddamn ego do you got to have to think like, you know what, we're so good, we can do this? Fucking idiots. Sand says, Hurts the first draft pick that looked good since Miles. Oh, God, what are we doing? James says, if Howie or Jeffrey trying to be fucking Jerry Jones. I think there's some truth to that. I think when you win, you start thinking you're bigger than you are.
And you start trying to, and again, well, I know we said it during the week, but you start trying to put as an owner, you start trying to put your fingerprints and handprints on a team when in reality, just sign the checks, bro. I mean, we joke and we rip on the Cowboys and the Washington football team for how Daniel Snyder and Jerry Jones are so involved in their organization and why there's such shit shows recently. But this is what we've become.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, if we're going to be critical of other organizations, look at us. I mean, you sign the checks and you should sign off on stuff. Now, I'm not saying he signs off on draft night, but shit. If you're telling me Howie Roseman didn't talk to Jeffrey Lurie before taking a quarterback in the second round, when you just paid your quarterback $100 million, then guess what? Guess what's going on here, Greg? Howie Roseman has too much say.
Yeah.
You know, that's what goes on there, guys. He has too much say. No general manager should have that kind of say when you just paid your franchise quarterback $100 million. You better not. It'd be like if it was written in your contract. Hey, you just signed this guy to $100 million. You're not allowed to draft the quarterback in the first 2 rounds now. You understand that?
Should
You
be.
understand that? If I find out you do, I'm coming to your house. I'm kicking your ass. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Don, I am ready for some Tyrese Maxey. I know he got to put on a little COVID list today, but that just slows down his progression a little bit. But I do like Tyrese Maxey a lot, and I think as this season goes along, he's going to be a contributor that we're going to need. Yeah, Eric says, nah, bro. We're a quarterback factory now, remember? Yeah, same quarterback factory that, they told us 2 years ago that Nate Sudfeld was going to be that guy. That's what they told us, and now that guy doesn't even dress. So good factory. Yeah, Dick Cole, don't rub it in. Don't, just a tip, all right? When you talk about Jefferson, just a tip. We don't want all of it.
We already talked about Jefferson.
Yeah, and the smartest guy in the room syndrome. And I know, so the last thing about, or you guys can continue to talk about, this. I just got to go piss, but we don't have to continue to talk Eagles. We can segue to some Sixers. I mean, there's not much to talk about Sixers, and just
what are we going to talk about?
Or we just continue to talk Eagles, and we keep rolling with it because it's not like there's not a lot to talk about. But Sixers, when I come back, we can talk Sixers because I'm so excited. I mean, shit, what the fuck? I mean, we're going to continue to talk about 3-8-1 team. We're an hour and a half in. You know what I mean? Like we broke it all down. I'd rather talk
to Sixers. There's not really a whole lot to talk about till they start playing. Really, I'm excited that we got about 3 weeks till they start playing.
23rd.
23rd. So little less than 3 weeks.
Well, I was just going to talk about the whole NBA in general, not just the Sixers. Just some of the, just some of the moves and shakes that's happened, and some teams that gotten better and worse. Just some fun there, but you continue to talk football up until then.
I'm watching some college basketball. I don't know if anybody else.
Madden Playbook King, you're on YouTube. Listen to all these Carson Wentz lovers. They love this idiot. They swear he has talent, but where is it? He had one good year out of 5. Where is it at? Carson Wentz was horrible last year. It's just the division was even worse. This guy's not good. I'm getting sick of people talking about him.
That's wrong. You shouldn't even have read that, really.
He definitely wasn't horrible. I'm flabbergasted because who's your guy then? Please tell me who your guy is. Because there's nothing truthful about what you've said in these 2 comments outside of the fact that Carson Wentz has been horseshit this year.
Yeah, that's true.
And we've all said that. We've all said that, but you can't sit back here and say he wasn't good last year. You can't sit back here and say he wasn't good in 2018. And you can't sit back here and say he wasn't an MVP candidate and potentially should have still won it in 2017.
Well, I think that's the 1 year he's referring. But he's had really, this is the only year he's played bad. I mean,
it's the only year statistically when he hasn't been hurt that he's been bad.
Exactly. Besides injury, he's played well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The narrative. You asked anybody around, all right, nationally or whatever, and you mention his name, the first thing you think of is injuries. All right, the guys, whether you want to talk, the discussion going into this year was, hey man, is this guy injury prone? Can he stay healthy? Can he get to the, can he play a playoff game? Can he win a playoff game? And stuff like that. And now it's like, wow. So, this year, we don't know if it's an anomaly. All right. It's, we'll see. All right. Time will tell, but it's time to sit down. It's been that bad. It's been that embarrassing. It's been that putrid. So it's time to sit down. All right. So, I don't know why, what else, what else to tell you? Like I said, he's got the people that fucking hate him to death. All right. And the people that, are, apologize, the apologists for him. And then you got people in the middle like us, and then you got the people that will hate them no matter what. They don't care. Anything short of a Super Bowl, they will continue.
And they still hate him.
They're going to hate him. No,
they hate him now because he's clapping on the sidelines like, oh, this is where he should have been. What do you want him to do? Sulk on the bench? Then you're going to rip him for that.
Exactly.
Listen, the contract looks terrible now because he's horseshit. Right? It does. But you can't sit here and say you wouldn't have inked him up last year when they did.
It's actually a good contract.
It was a steal at the time.
Compared to franchise quarterback contracts, it's a good contract.
It was a steal at the time, and you had every inclination that he was the guy. You couldn't have
Listen,
saw
it could
into the
just be a
future
bad year.
to realize that he was going to be terrible this year.
It could just be a bad year. Guys have bad years.
Yeah.
It's not like the end of the fucking world. Now, that's why I think you just got to sit him down the rest of the year, because it's not like he's just going to magically become better in the next couple weeks. Everything's shit around him. He's not just going to magically polish this fucking turd and make it be good. So that's why I just sit him down. Let Jalen play out the rest of the season. Sit Carson down, and hopefully we go back out next year and we come get him.
And listen, let's call a spade a spade. He might never play again.
He might
not
for us.
However,
he's
going to be on the roster next year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
so this conversation's going to continue until he is off this roster.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Or playing well next year.
Exactly. Until the day that he, if he's gone, which you understand the cap hit and all that stuff, and the day Doug's gone, you're going to continue to hear both sides of that from those fans. You know what I mean? They just don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So you're going to get the Frank Reich comparisons, and you're going to get Nick Foles or whoever else. Just give me somebody else but him. You know what I mean? Whether he's hurt or whether it's his performance, whether it's religion or the fact that he's a ginger. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you why. You know what I mean? For what drives people crazy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, to me, he's a stand-up dude. You know what I mean? Like I said, going into this year, it was about injuries. That was it. It wasn't about, hey, can this dude play or not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there was no comparison. Until not comparison, but until this year, it was like, that we know the kind of start Dak got out to. You know what I mean? But up until this year, it was like, we used to laugh and say, oh, these Cowboy fans want to compare Dak to Carson. It's not even close.
No.
And now you're like, ooh, geez, okay.
You set franchise records and stuff like that. Like,
step, you know what I mean? Where Carson's regressing, and he's healthy, but he's regressing, and Dak took that next step, you know what I mean, to separate himself. And now it totally flipped 180 and said, ooh, man, that's a real gap.
Yeah, and progressing to an injury.
Huh?
And Dak progresses to an injury. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like they went opposite directions.
Yeah. No, you're right, 100%. And like you said, like, not only do you sit down for performance, all right, but he, up until this point, he's dodged the injury bug, and now you just this year's a wrap. You throw this year away, and you come out of it unscathed and healthy, and you go in the next year and see if it was a fluke, or see if he's or if he's able to, make adjustments and clean up the turnovers and decide that, that he can play football in this league again. You know what I mean? And if not, then you hold the clipboard and whoever's in front of him, whoever that might be, until that person gets hurt, you know what I mean? You just hold the clipboard because of that monster contract and that cap hit, and nobody's willing to fuck with it. So then you just, you carry the clipboard around, and that's what you do. You know what I mean? If you're not capable of playing or winning a job in camp, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you, Sweeps. Absolutely. I'm going to switch phones here because I'm about to die, so I'll be right back.
TTP says if Carson was on the roster, he plays next year, you don't sit a $100 million guy, you trade him and take the dead cap hit. And I kind of agree to that. You know what I mean? Like, to the point of, if he's here, he's got to play. Because you don't want that $100 million. It's like the old Nick Foles thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that elephant on whoever's shoulder.
Yeah, I know, but I love TTP, and I'm not saying TTP is wrong at all, and I'm right and you're wrong or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody falls on whatever side they want to fall on. You know what I mean? To me, it's about performance. You know what I mean? The contract you already fucked up on. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I surely don't want to run out a guy. I hate when professional teams run out guys that don't belong or shouldn't be out there.
Yeah,
because of the contract. You know what I mean? Like. You know what I mean? Like, the same thing the Phillies tried to do. You know what I mean? Like, we know the big piece got hurt. The big piece was a carrier. I mean, hopefully Tom comes back because he loves the big piece. You know what I mean? And I'm not crushing the big piece. I'm just saying it got to the point after the injury, it was like they were running him out there, right, because of the contract. And they went, they did same thing they did with David Bell all those years ago. They missed on David Bell, and they played him for 2 seasons. Right, because they were paying him a lot of money. Like, that's you missed on it, dude. Just walk away, cut your losses. You know what I mean? And I understand, in the business world, I'm not an owner. I understand that's that's probably a hard thing for these guys to do, but
Right.
like, you're not going to get it back. So what's the difference? But I understand, like both you guys are saying, that it creates, it could create some tension, and but he's not that kind of guy.
No,
what I mean?
he's not.
But,
Yeah,
but you're
but
right.
the city
I mean,
is. But the city is.
But all you really care about is your locker room. Like, hey, as long as this dude's not a cancer and he's not
Right.
carrying on, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we missed on a guy. We got the league's highest paid backup. All right, so maybe the rest of the league laughs at you. I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
is that what are you going to do? I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do with that? You know what I mean? So, that shouldn't play into the factor. You know what I mean? If you can move them and you can take that cap hit, like you said, which is absolutely outrageous, I don't see how you could. You know what I mean? It's not like another making a trade where the other team picks up the salary and then gives you back money. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to trade for him and then give you $60 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they still have to pay him too. You know what I mean? And that still doesn't matter either, because it's not just about losing the money, like you said. It's a cap hit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a penalty.
Yeah. It's your GM did a really good job.
Exactly. That's what it is. So,
and in theory, he did a good job, because this cap hit wouldn't be an issue if he wasn't playing so bad.
yeah, they thought, exactly.
Because you're right, $34 million for a franchise quarterback isn't really that bad in the way things are going right now. I mean, what's Mahomes making? 45?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by the way, there's no comparison.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, money wise,
Yeah.
You didn't think that was going to be that bad. And then 2020 obviously happens, and it's complete and utter dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so like I said, that's all. Like I said, that's where I would only play. I'm not necessarily devil's advocate, but that's the only reason I took that other stance. You know what I mean? Like I said,
I completely hear you.
TTP or you were wrong for saying that. You know what I mean? I just look at it like, shit, man, I don't really care about money. You know what I mean? It's about performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, you need backup. So if he's a serviceable backup, you know what I mean? And you say to yourself, oh, my God, I can't believe we got to pay this guy all this money and he's never going to play, unless we break the glass. In case of emergency, we break a glass and then he has to go in. I get that. But, you can never turn the clock back. You know what I mean? Like, hindsight's 20/20. When you mess up in life, you don't get, you obviously you get second chances, you know what I mean? But in scenarios like this, you don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you're dealing with contracts and money and, and you don't get a chance, you know what I mean? To make it right, it was, you're stuck with it, you know what I mean? So you can only hope. So to me, forcing the issue, I guess that would be my point to you and TTP.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Forcing the issue to me is worse. Right, because then the guy becomes a lame duck player. We talk about lame duck coaches.
We talked about it with Doug. Yeah.
Guy's a lame duck player. You know what I mean? It's like, especially in this town, they'll eat you alive. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, especially if this sample size, the next 4 games is a good sample size for Hurts. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, then they're going to be like, all right, this we got to look at 11 again after this dude showed he can play, young guy, energy, run around making plays, gave us a better chance to win, in this particular season,
sure.
I mean, with this roster that's constructed, so, I mean, listen, is it ideal? No, it's not ideal, but I mean, we'll have to see. How 11 responds. That's all. You know what I mean? Like, none of us know. None of us have a crystal ball. You know what I mean? So, you can use, the excuses on one side or the other. Like, the line's terrible, the wide receivers are terrible, all that stuff. All the other factors. You know what I mean? It still doesn't. Change the fact that he hasn't made a play in weeks. You know what I mean? So he hasn't made a play in weeks, and that doesn't change. You know what I mean? Like, we understand he's getting hit and he's under pressure and stuff like that, but his decision making has been horrible from week 1 on. You know what I mean?
No, completely. And JV says it. Wentz is dead ass the worst starting quarterback in the league, and there's no argument there.
No, you won't get it from here.
No argument here.
You might get it in his charity room or somebody, you know what I mean, or a close personal relative, but you won't get it here, buddy. I mean, that's how bad it's been. This offense is putrid, and he's the guy running it. You know what I mean? So for those 6 or 7 minutes, you know what I mean, there was some electricity, there was some excitement, and guess what? On top of it, you had a chance to win the game.
There was production.
Yeah.
I know it was only 5 passes, but one was a touchdown.
No, on a 4th and 19.
On a 4th and 19.
You know what I mean? You dropped in 2 balls from a hot air balloon. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you said, to your point, production and you had a chance to win. It wasn't like it was 40-3 and it was slop time. And this was, all backups and prevent defense and stuff. This was, this was, like I said,
it started out that way.
Yeah. 23.
But then all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
23.
You can move the ball between the 20 and 20, but can you get it in the end zone?
Yeah, no, absolutely. 23-3. Yep, 23-3, exactly. But the first drive was, they still had their guys in. So even though it was 23-3, it's still the third quarter.
Yeah.
Or was beginning of the fourth, whatever it was. I don't know. Or middle of the fourth. What did I say? 7 minutes, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So, halfway through the fourth. You know what I mean? So
I think he had that first initial drive that didn't do much. That was the penalty. The holding on Miles that sputtered.
Yep.
And
exactly.
then it was the Rager pass.
Yep. And
they came back the other side.
Yeah, 2 3 and outs. Yeah, 2 3 and outs. 3 and out, a touchdown, 3 and out, punt return. Boom. Next year, Elliott does Elliott things. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? Like he just can't get out of his own way. You know what I mean? Like he got the chance.
And that's what I said. Like Hollywood couldn't script this season.
Win a game, you know what I mean? Without
Hollywood couldn't script this season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like how bad it is.
Without Doug, going for 2, which we know he loves to do.
Yeah.
He actually had a chance to win a game. If that's 23-17, you know what I mean?
Don goes, what if Howie drafts Trey Lance out of North Dakota State?
Oh my goodness gracious! Could you imagine? Shit.
Don says, "Who do we want to be the GM? Who's your pick for the GM? Do you have anybody off the top of your tongue?"
Yeah, like I said, the sexy. It's always about the sexy name,
right?
Louis Riddick, but I mean, he's had experience in this league.
He's done it before. Yeah,
he's not just a former player that.
Wills, flip your camera.
It was like an intern or something, you know what I mean? He wasn't just, he's had experience in, in player personnel.
Yeah.
So he's had experience there. So, I like Lou. I don't know if once those guys, we talked about it before, once those guys become
they get that cushy booth.
Entrenched in the not just the booth. I mean, obviously he got the gig this year, but he's been on TV for a while. So
yeah,
it's tough to lure those guys out. But if you give them control, and we talk about it all the time, when you throw money at people, money talks in all walks of life. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
there's no doubt you can get Lewis. If you do the right thing. And so I mean, I'm sure there's other viable candidates. I just don't have any names off the top of my head, but I'm sure if there's guys that might be some assistant GMs elsewhere, or guys that might get let go. But it's clear it's time to move on here. So question will if this turns into a 3-12-1, will is Jeffrey seen enough? And we think he has, by starting to talk a little bit like he did last week, so it looks that he's pissed off, a little fire under his ass,
I would hope so at this point. Fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
I like Lewis's name though. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? It's not really going to change the game. I mean, I hear you. We talked about the bad holding call on the run. I mean, there's bad officiating all over the place. So it's not gonna.
Yeah, if we were moving the ball all over the place, then I would buy into that more, right? Like if we were moving the ball and we just kept getting crushed on call after call, and we felt like we could score points, then I'd be like upset. You know what I mean? But we can't move the ball, so we probably jumped out of our seats when Jalen threw a touchdown pass today. So. And I'm sure people finally got jacked.
4th and 19, especially.
Yeah, and when Reger ran it back, we were like, "Oh my god, did we just like make this a game out of nowhere? Like, where did we come from?" So it was the first time it was like there was excitement, really, since that first half in Washington before the pick. Where we really felt like we were like, we were a good team again. Like regardless if we were going to be 9-7 or 10-6, we still felt like we were a tough team, right? And I think that's sort of how I felt coming in this year, and I know a lot of other guys felt the same way coming in this year, that we were going to be tough, we were going to be well coached. We assumed them things, and we were delivered none of them, right? So not like one thing under the Christmas tree that we thought we were getting. Make sense? Like not one thing has lived up to what we thought we would get. And that's when you run into a problem like you're running into right now.
Yeah, we got coal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We got coal in our stocking.
I mean, even our kicker stinks. So, I
was just going to say that to you, brother. Just from like today's game, you know what I mean? Like you had all the momentum, and that was the beginning of getting kicked in the dick. That was the beginning of the shifting gears. You know what I mean? Like you had a chance to make it 23-17, where a touchdown. You win the game, and say to yourself, "Man, we're halfway through the fourth. It was 23-3, and now we got a chance to win the game." And obviously you still had a chance to tie the game, but it was like he just started that whole fucking the whole downward spiral. You know what I mean? He misses the extra point. All right, you get a stop, and then you guys, and then the Eagles go, and the Eagles have to punt it back, and then a 77-yard run. You know what I mean? So it just started the whole. It's just like, God damn, I know. Like he's been horrible. He's been horrible as well. It's unbelievable. Tyreek's good enough. Jesus, Tyreek.
We took a flag.
There's a flag, and he's doing flips in the end zone and shit.
Yeah, I don't care about the flag. The point is we took Mawada right before him, if that matters. But that's fine.
Yeah, 5th rounder though. I mean, I hear you.
No, I'm just making a point.
Slides though, huh?
We want to be a track team all of a sudden because we want to be a track team. I'm just making a point. Like this year, we made a big emphasis in the draft to be in this big track team. So, one of the guys we drafted can't even step on the field. So, it's something every week with him. And Quez Watkins. Well, no, him too. I was talking about this year. No, I was talking about this.
Jay Joel to me is the if you're looking at receiving, which we haven't drafted receiving well in years. Macklin and Deshaun probably the last two. But if you look at receiving, Jay Joel's the one that stands out. Like that's just a terrible pick, obviously. A guy can't even go on the fucking field.
Second healthy scratch this year.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
A 2nd-round pick.
Thanks, Brad.
And then the other one was today, Jannard Avery, who we traded for, gave up assets for, was another healthy scratch today as well.
And not to mention, Greg, not only was he a 2nd-round pick, but you look at the other guys that were drafted after him in the draft.
Oh, my God.
And they're just making plays. And you're just like, well, I mean, obviously, you would think that one of these guys would have been on the board for us if we don't take J. Joel. One of these guys. Like, we love to point out DK. But, like, even if he wasn't our next in line, there's a bunch of other guys that went after him. Terry McLaurin went after him, right? There's like
A.J. Moore.
There's a bunch of guys that went after him that are playing well. So, or at least on the field contributing. So, I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, you're right. That was a bad holding call, by the way, too. It was a little weak.
Of course it was, because I got Tyreek. Needed that.
And I had the over, so of course it was. Fuck.
Listen, I'm all for starting over. Daryl says fire them all, starting with Howie. Everyone he deals with, and listen, everything starts up top and it works its way down. And what started up top has worked its way down. So, bad draft days, bad handling of the cap, right? Things like that, right? Lead to this, right? Lead to now bad coaching, bad play on the field. Everything looks bad, right? I guarantee if Doug had Andy's offense, we wouldn't be calling him an idiot, right? Or he forgot, or he doesn't know how to call plays. Maybe for this year, since he doesn't have an offensive coordinator, because I think I speak for a lot of people. Shit, I would, I might kill somebody to get Mike Rowe back at this point. At least we're scoring 24 points a game. You know what I mean? Like we scored 24 points a game. I know he said he didn't know what to do with Golden Tate, but fine, come on back. Like I know you don't know what to do with guys, but just swing on back because just give anybody a headset. Give Marty a headset. But the problem is you bring Marty Morningwing in. Marty loves to throw the ball 50 times a game. You know what I mean? And you can't throw the ball 50 times a game unless you have the talent on the outside to throw the ball 50 times a game. So that's where the mind fuck comes in. So it's like, all right, today, I made the question this week, over under 28 rush attempts, right? Well, the way the game started, I'm like, oh, this is going over, right, guys? The way the game started, I'm like, all right, we're gonna really dedicate ourselves to the run. That ended real quick. So who's that on? That's on my play caller. You know what I mean? That's on my I know you're down 14-3. but you can't go 3 and out quick. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have a 3 and out. You have to sort of sustain a drive, and he does nothing to help his quarterback out. His quarterback's done nothing to help him out, and everything goes around the blame on that.
And given the play calling duties to Press Taylor to me is like a token move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like give it to, like you said, give it to Marty, who's done it before. Give it to Santangelo or whatever. Give it to Deuce, who everyone wants to say is the next head coach, right? Or like a head coach in waiting. Like any of those guys you give that to, then I'll take you giving up play calling honestly. But you giving it to Press is just like, all right, I'm going to give it to Press. So then when he sucks at it too, because I taught him what to do, then I can fire him and keep my job.
Or he just sucks at doing it because he's not more than.
And he's not very good anyway.
No, maybe he's just a coordinator of a positional group, and that's all he's ever going to be. That's fine. Some guys stay in them roles forever. Not everybody gets a raise. Not everybody gets a bump up. Not everybody's the next guy in line. That's not how pro sports work all the time, people. Deuce Staley's a great running back coach. So leave him as a running back coach. Like, it doesn't have to be the next guy in line. Like, if I'm going to go hire somebody outside this goddamn organization.
Absolutely, Tom.
That is facts.
Absolutely.
I'm not the Flyers, man. I'm not
I
the
ain't
Flyers.
hiring Deuce. If you think I'm hiring Deuce, you're crazy. What's he going to bring back half the staff? Fuck that.
The only guy in this tree I would hire is the enemy. And that's not even like me a love affair for him either. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's the only guy, like, in this tree of Andy, been around Doug, like, thing. That's probably the only guy I would like, be like, yeah, I'd bring him in, obviously, for an interview. I don't know if I'm in love with him as everybody else is, because, I mean, look at the talent out there. Christ. So everybody looks smart when there's a ton of talent.
Yeah. See, where you going? That's twice he did that. You know what I mean? Now Andy is a good coach. He put that talent together, right? So don't you take shots at Red. You know what I mean?
Red, not to be enemy.
I know, but Red was very good here. You said if Doug had Andy Reid's talent, he'd be good too. Would he? I don't fucking know, bro. We'll never know.
I don't know. When he had talent, he won a Super Bowl.
Nice. I mean, his Corvettes look nice, right? Some people don't know how to drive stick.
No, I understand that, but the guy also when he had talent, won a Super Bowl.
Did he? Or was it a combined effort?
Well, it doesn't matter. Andy had a ton of success. Andy's my favorite head coach of all time. So there's no debating Andy. I'm not saying Doug would have the same success.
That's dad, Tom. That's dad.
Yeah. I'm not like, let me clarify. I'm not saying Doug would have the same success in Kansas City Andy does, right? Because I think Andy's a great fucking play caller. I love Andy play caller. Like, people didn't like him here as a play caller. I loved it. Okay. So no way do I think Doug's as smart as a play caller as Andy Reid is. Not even close, right? Not even fucking close. But I think that if he had that talent, he would look smarter than he does at 3-8-1 is all my point. Like, not that he's winning a Super Bowl or they're freaking 11-1 or 10-1 or whatever the hell they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, that they would probably be, I don't know, they'd be 3 or 4 games probably over 500 still. And I think a lot of coaches would enjoy that. But guess what? You're right. Andy is great at developing talent. Andy is great at developing quarterbacks. I mean, Tyreek Hill said he thought Patrick Mahomes stunk when he walked in the door. Andy's great at developing quarterbacks. He's a quarterback whisperer. Always has been. Everybody under Andy plays better at the quarterback position. Mahomes is still a pimp, but Andy helps with that. And that's where coaching comes in. And that's where Doug Peterson has failed. I mean, he's the one who said it. Like, oh, man, this guy's a great kid. We just hope we don't mess him up. Well, you guys messed him up.
Good talk, Doug.
Yep. That aged well.
You have blame in his regression. Like, listen, the whole coaching staff has blame in his regression. Anybody that's in a room with him that even takes a shit in a stall fucking next to him has a part in his damn regression. So right now, like I said, I would fire Doug. I never once said fire Andy. Even at 4-12 that year, I was like, do we really want to let him go? Like, I know it's time, but do we want to do it? Like, I love the guy. It was so hard. So I just want to clarify. Like, I don't think he's as good a head coach as Andy is, because Andy's like,
he's definitely not. That's for sure.
Andy, Tomlin, like, they're my guys. I always compare Doug more to Tomlin if Doug didn't call plays. Like, if Doug didn't call plays and just let somebody else do it, I think he could be a really great leader of men if he focused on that and having his football team ready to play every Sunday. I think he tried to take on too much. Tomlin's a great leader of men. Gets the most out of his football team. But Tomlin never had a losing record. Never tried calling his own plays.
Lost Big Ben last year, went 8-8 with fucking Mason Rudolph, who couldn't even play in a fucking 7-on-7 touch lick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before he got domed.
The best DN in the league tried to brain him.
Yeah, before he got playing a fucking touch clip.
I tried killing him.
Dude tried killing him on the field.
No, Richard, don't you start, Richard. Andy's won too many games in this league. They smack him in the face. That's why I had to clarify my statement. Because, like, these guys won too many goddamn games to take shots. Andy's a guy I never have taken a shot at in the city. Wills will vouch for it because he's been around me as an Andy fan, as an Eagles fan when Andy was here. That like
terrible timeout guy, time's yours. Yeah. And like terrible pressure guy, that's fine. Kill the guy for what you want to kill him for.
Not the greatest second half adjustment guy for Andy, but Andy always prepared to play, always scripted a good start to a game, which Doug never does, and not a great timeout guy, which still holds true to this day. But his teams are always good, always prepared, and always in the playoffs.
What pom-poms? JV, what pom-poms did I hold up? Did I hold up pom-poms tonight?
No, maybe he's just taking the Andy talk for Chiefs pom-poms. I don't know.
Oh,
that's the only red and white that I can understand.
Oh, okay. I don't have the pom-poms out. I have pom-poms out for Dad. That's Dad to me. I always support him, and he did a great job in Kansas City, just like I thought he would. All right, just like I freaking thought he would. That's not pom-pom, JV. I'm an Eagles fan first and foremost, and our coach fucking stinks. Okay, and that's all I can say about it right now. Right? I don't know what I do as an organization. I don't know right now. And if I'm glad I don't have Jeffrey Lurie's job. That's all I'm saying, because he's in a tough spot moving forward with this organization. Because do you get rid of it all?
I'd take his job.
Or do you
take his money?
Yeah. Listen, I have no problem taking his job.
Even that, I'll make the decision very easily.
The mail order wife can go back to fucking wherever, but I'll take the money.
Well, the other one was drinking and driving too much, so we had to get rid of her.
Yeah, that's true. We had to get rid of her.
Let's be fair here.
Well, now with Uber, we could go with that now. We'll just get an Uber driver now.
Well, it's the second one.
Yeah, and he ruined it. And he had such a bad relationship with her. Now we can't go back to Kelly Green. Thank you.
Yeah, we can never get Kelly Green back. Thank you.
Wells. The second one he can control. You know what I mean? Like
I'll ship you back.
The list here says they paid 50,000 yen for you. So, yep, you're good. Get dolled up. Get in the car.
Of an unlimited warranty.
I'm not sure if 50,000 yen is cheap or expensive. By the way, it just sounded good.
Sounded good.
Sounded classy.
You can tell me that's 50 cents. I'd be like, attaboy.
Sounds good.
I'll get you a Pepsi.
Well, that's $480.
Is it? Yes.
Winning.
I was going to go crazy higher, but
winning. Look at that. Look at that.
94 cents.
Got it cheap.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
That's the first draft down in fucking 4 years. Good for him. 480. God,
best pick he's made since Andy.
I'll give him Doug for the 1 year. That's it, though. I'll give you 1 year. You guys had a 1 year wonder. I'll give it to you. And that's how it would happen with us.
Listen, it's like we said it, Tom. We always used to say it's gonna happen in a weird way. At this point, it's almost obvious that it happened in a weird fucking way. Everything went together for us. 2017. It was like the culmination of everything great went together for us.
Yep.
And
it's starting to seem like that, right?
Amazing.
Like 2017
game, Greg.
was the anomaly.
Greg, the divisional game. Me and Will rat it. A ball off Neil's fucking kneecap for a
Oh, my God.
Like
that's always been my argument to the Nick Foles lovers is like, he threw so many YOLO balls in that game. It's just like
our offense was atrocious, but guess what? And then you're getting
you get a catch from Torrey Smith, who didn't catch anything all year, but he catches the ball off in Neil's knee.
Yeah, and then you're getting goal line.
Like a great fourth down grab in the Super Bowl, Torrey Smith.
No, I know.
And but also that year, like on top of everything, how well everything worked that year for us. We were amazing on third down, incredible on fourth down when we went for it. Like everything went our way. It was incredible.
What up,
It was
Todd?
just such a run.
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess what? That's what winning does. You know what I mean? Like there was a winning culture there. There was a lot of good players that nobody talks about. Patrick Robinson had a great year. LeGarrette Blount. You know, there's a lot of guys so impactful. You know, Brandon Brooks was huge that year.
Everyone we brought in had a good year. Everyone we brought in had a good year.
It was just a perfect storm.
Chris Long had a good year.
It was. That's exactly the exact word. Perfect storm. All the stars were lined up. You know what I mean? Like, it was unbelievable.
And maybe he could never coach. Maybe the guy could never coach. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he got fucking lucky as shit. I don't know. I have no idea.
I got us a title, so yes.
Yeah,
at this point, I fire him.
Listen, I'm more close to firing him than keeping him. I just told you the devil's advocate of firing him, like half the league's looking for a coach. So you know what I mean. So that's the only thing. But guess what? If you're good at what you do, you can still find a guy, right? If you're good at what you do, so that shouldn't matter. If you have enough, if you believe enough in your organization, if you believe enough in what you have here, right, to sell as your organization, then you should be able to get anybody you want to. You know what I mean? So to that, there's always another guy. And I said this the other night. There's always another guy. We get scared because we think that this is the only guy sometimes. And if you're good at what you do, there's another guy.
Yeah.
There is. There's like Howie Roseman. There's another guy. It might not be the hot name. It might be a guy like, what the fuck is this hire? Right? And the guy ends up being great for you. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. So sometimes it's like you might fire Doug and bring in a guy and you're like, really, this guy? And he ends up being a great head coach for you for freaking 8 years. You just don't know.
Kind of like when we hired Andy.
Yeah.
We're like, who? Who's Andy Reid?
Well, look when we hired Doug. We said, who? Really, Doug? We knew who he was, but we're like, Doug? Come on. And I liked it at the time because I'm like, I like anything out of the Andy tree. And he got us what we hired him to do. But guess what? Sometimes, I know I said, did he forget how to coach? I don't know. Or he never knew how to coach. You know what I mean? He just was. He was great with the freaking Mr. Softy swinging by the facility, and he kept guys locked in. But that football team that year had a ton of fucking great vets on it too. That locker room was built for him.
Winners too, Tom.
Winners. Malcolm
Long and LeGarrette literally just came from winning the Super Bowl the year before.
Yep.
It's almost like, and you had a former head coach, Jim Schwartz, who with talent's a really good coordinator, in my opinion, and he showed it that year. Right when he has all his pieces, I think his defense can be good. He did get torched in the Super Bowl. Whatever. We also scored way more points than I think we ever thought we would score in the Super Bowl too. So that's just the way that weird game went. But overall, he coached well that year, Jim. You know what I mean? That bend and not break worked because you had a front eight that just flat out got after everybody. To your guys' points, but the veterans were built for you, and that's credit to Howie for making the right moves and his whole organization. You all have a part in it, but sometimes when a talent goes, you get exposed. And maybe that's what we're seeing. Exposed talk. You know, like, hey, true colors coming out. And I'd hate to say that maybe Greg was right. That he didn't like it from Jump Street. I still think he's an idiot because we got a Super Bowl, but he might be right.
It sucks though. It's not like I wanted to be right. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're wrong just because we won a Super Bowl, but at this point, still, you can't.
He was coaching high school football before we hired him.
You can't just hold on to the fact that we won the Super Bowl forever. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta. At this point, I gotta fire him. I have to.
Did he score a lot of points in high school though? Did his offense?
I don't know. It was in Louisiana, I think, or Tennessee.
Probably.
What's up, Todd?
What up? Come on.
What's up?
Yep. So I mean, that's good with the Eagles. I mean, we spent over 2 hours talking Eagles, and we broke it all down. And if you guys are listening, obviously you can go back and listen on all our platforms, or if you're over on the podcast game or YouTube Premium, podcast obviously download, subscribe. We'd love some great reviews out of you guys. Review us, give us 5 stars. We're here for you. Tonight's tons of comments. So it's been hard to get to all of them, but we're trying to at least show them all to show you we got to them. But yeah, I mean, everything you're saying, Todd, the run pass ratio was bad. As soon as we got away from that, our offense got terrible. And the list goes on. We're going to hopefully find out this week soon who our starting quarterback is going to be next Sunday. And I'm sure on A2D shows, you're going to hear a lot about that. But I ain't talking about it after this week. After the decision's made, I'll talk about it, and I'm done fucking talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do this for, like, the Isle's going to beat it up for freaking 8 months. It's not getting beat up for 8 months here. You know what I mean? I just won't allow it to. It'll get too annoying.
Regardless of who starts, we're in for big trouble next week. I think we can all say that. Going to be a rough one. Going to be a rough one.
I mean, I still would take not having to see Breeze would be nice, but yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to play, so we won't see Breeze, but whew, they're pretty good.
I feel way more confident in our offense if Hurts started.
Richard Shally, is that true? I need you to provide some facts to that statement, because if true, yeah.
What's the statement?
Doug said he uses the same playbook he did in high school.
And to Todd's question, it was balanced. It was 25-27. Now, obviously, you're counting the quarterbacks running. You know what I mean? You count that for whatever you want to count it for. But in all technicality, it was 25-27 rush.
I mean, we did run the ball more today than normal. We controlled the whole first quarter. We just only put up 3 fucking points.
Yep.
And that's
and then we got 4 yards in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they controlled the second quarter.
Yeah, they controlled it, yeah.
You know, I thought they did a good job running, and they were down 14-3, and it's like, now you got to throw the ball a little bit. You know what I mean? You got to get you now. You know, you feel like you can't stop them. You know, just how it goes. Came on. We need a better O line, that's for sure. Adams, DK, Slayton, Claypool, Kittle, Boyd, Crumb, Clarn. They're all something in common. Yep. I mean, you could do that for every team.
I don't like doing that.
But what I will say is, just take 2 of them and put them here. That's all. You know what I mean? Like two guys that you think they missed on, and this team's better. So, regardless, Matt says 31, 15 Saints next week. I don't know
15. Where's that coming from? I hope so.
Dad, we need a kicker and a lot more than that, my brother.
I was thinking 27-10.
Get out of here, dude, Richard. You think he's going to carve that? He's going to fuck up the Saints? Wow, good for you.
Did you watch that defense today?
Good for you.
Saints
Did you watch that defense all year?
Right now. Best defense in football right now, probably. That defense is filthy.
Brinks is fired up, Don. He's mad at Chucks, rightfully so. And he'll be mad tomorrow. And then he's got to deal with Brad. He's got to deal with the jerk off. You know, going to gloat over his shit team. Even though good defensive win today for the Giants, going in the right direction, but screw the Giants. All right, now these guys want to make fun of us when we were in first place, and now look at them all. Right? They all made fun of us when we were in first.
The Giants might have a little QB controversy as well.
Stop.
I thought Colt threw the ball well today.
I think they both
threw the ball well today.
I think they both stink, but yeah.
Well, Danny Dimes stinks, I think. So
yeah, I do too.
I mean, Colt's a backup in this league. I think we know that, but he played pretty well today. Wow, what a play, dude. He's absurd.
Mahomes.
Yeah, but that throw is just ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. That's the fucking sidearm running the other way. Like, that's like backyard shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's like stuff we do in the backyard with like 3-on-3. Nobody rushing. You know what I mean? Again, no rushing. Oh, drop that little sidearm piece. Then that look cute. Crab cakes in football.
Call that a sack lunch.
Nobody realized.
No.
I got in a little trouble.
Bucker having a day.
I got a little trouble, I guess, on A2D After Dark.
Oh yeah,
but it's going to be I'm going to save it for my Crumb in a week. Nah, I won't. I just said I don't. If anybody's ever been like close on a football field, like Division I or pro, like this, like I have no problem with women playing every sport. Men do if they want to. Go ahead. If you're going to think you're better, go ahead. Football though, nope. People get fucking killed. Okay? People die. That's how people die. All right. If you ever been close to a football field, that's how people die. And I got to call messages like, "Oh, I think that's aggressive." I say, "Kick field goals all you want. All right. You want to kick a field goal? Cute. All right. You better leave it there. That's all I said. You better leave it there.
You better have You better have your head on a swivel on the kickoff because I'm just letting you know, some of those guys on our team, little aggressive, wouldn't mind laying you the fuck out. That's just fact. Oh, you want to play, do you? Okay. All right, we'll see you on the kickoff. That's how they're thinking. That's what they're thinking. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, that's
It
fine.
would have been nice if she actually would have kicked the field goal.
Listen,
Well,
that's all well and good.
Listen, let's see what I got a problem with the guys telling me it was a design squib. No, it fucking wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Squib. Shut the fuck up with it. Your design squib. It was a terrible kick. All right, it's a good thing for her. Congratulations. The kick sucked.
My golf shots aren't designed to do that, and that's what they do all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, leave it there. Don't try to be a wide out or running back and get yourself killed. You got big men that are 6'4", 6'5", running 4.4s. Probably want to steer away from this game. You know what I mean? Like in terms of that, you want to go. Put your
Are
head on
people talking about women running backs and receivers? Is that
No,
what we're talking?
No, Wilson. I've just followed the way this is going, and I'm just trying to pump the brakes.
You gotta stop, please.
I am. I just want to say one thing. I didn't want to get anybody going. I just wanted to get it off my chest again because I got a couple DMs because they thought that was crazy. I said to kick field goals all you want. I said just I wouldn't line up a wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, hey, I'll be careful. You know what I mean? We'll swing it back. So we got basketball. Baseball's 3 weeks away. December 23rd. Obviously, open it up against the new look Wizards. Which the
Westbrook-led Wizards.
Whatever we want to say about them, I mean they're now obviously better.
John Wall hasn't played in 2 years, so they're definitely better.
Yeah.
Westbrook is. I mean, listen, I'm not a huge Westbrook guy, and I think he's awful in the crunch time of games. That's the main reason that teams just constantly move on from. But he's going to give you 110%, and he is a hell of a player. So Washington definitely improved. I don't know how much, but they improved.
Yep.
Yep. It looks like we're pretty much set in stone with our roster now for the most part.
Yeah, I would say so.
So we'll see, and Doc said some good things that you like to hear, and players have all said the right thing. So we'll see if this team can start to get over their own little hump and their hurdle. So this will be a big year for some guys.
Absolutely, I agree with you, including Doc. You know what I mean? Because I like Doc, and I'm not gonna kill Doc. I mean, I love him. You know what I mean? But Doc's had some failures, and so we'll see. How I'm sure he's anxious to get started here. You know what I mean? Because last year was one of those colossal failures for him. You know what I mean? I understand.
Classic underachiever.
Yeah, I understand players play and all that good stuff, but that was slated as the Battle of LA. It never got to the Battle of LA.
Yeah, you got to at least get there, right?
Yeah. Exactly. If you can't slay the king. You can't slay if you don't slay the king. I understand that, but you can't lose to Denver. Nuggets.
It was the Nuggets, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Can't be making fun of the dudes on the other team and then have them beat you. Can't have that happen. I know they were clowning Jokic. Can't do that.
Yep.
Richard, if Hurts wins the next 4 games, you want to bet on that?
So that's 5. So that's really 5 games because he's got beating Brady. 5 games.
Oh my God! Get out of here. Where's Brady? Will you stop?
Can you read it off to me, please? Because I can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
It's bold.
Bold prediction. Hurts wins the next 4 games, finish 7-8-1, host playoff game, and beat Brady.
Who said this?
Richard Solly.
Okay.
Oh, there's Drew Lock.
I mean, Richard, whatever you're smoking, kid, pass it over here. I'd love to take a hit. And also, if we win the next 4 games, you can come to the studio and have my spot on this show. Okay? I'll quit. You can have this 4th spot because that ain't fucking happening. Win the next 4 games. What the fuck you smoking, dude? We're gonna be a 15-point underdog next week at home. That's amazing. I love the optimism.
That Billy Mumphrey, he was a cockeye optimist.
Richard, we know it's a bold prediction. We know. That's bold. I mean,
no, it's quite bold.
I mean, as a fan, we'll take that. I mean, we're not going to run from that.
I'd love it.
It's opening up at 6.5 right now.
That's
Really?
low.
Yeah,
That's low because they don't know.
Shit, bet the birds.
because they don't know the quarterback.
Bet the birds he's doing. This is what he's doing.
That's a bird's line. That's a bird's line.
Now he's got us winning.
Willie Vegas. Willie Vegas.
Now he's got us winning. Look at him. Look at him. 2 hours, 18 minutes in. He's shifted.
Willie Vegas should have been 5-1 today. Mitch Trubisky fumbles and then like Cam Newton in the Super Bowl watches it sit there. Mitch, you gotta get on the ball, Mitch.
You know how we talk about like DK and Jefferson so much? Man, could you imagine though if you're a Bears fan? Like the amount you talk about Mahomes. I mean, we think we get sick of that conversation. I mean, Mahomes is in front of your face even more. You know what I mean? Like if I'm a Bears fan, I'm sick to my stomach.
He's
forever.
sick to your stomach. I might not even be a fan anymore. The dude's literally going to be the best quarterback of all time, or top 3, top 4, and you didn't take him.
Yeah, you didn't take him.
And you took Mitchell,
or even Deshaun, right? Not even Patty, like Deshaun. You didn't even take Deshaun.
Yeah, you pass on both.
He's definitely burned Mitchell.
Either one with that defense, you're in the hunt every year.
Yeah,
you would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope. Yeah.
You make case you're better than the Packers.
That's the team that trades for. That's the team that would trade for Wentz. By the way, you know you're saying there's teams out there. The Bears are one of them teams. Bears are one of them teams.
With all that money they got to Nick right now, though.
Yeah, I hear you. I think they would trade for him though, and then you just start that whole thing again. Foles and Wentz.
Oh my God!
They're the Eagles from 2017.
Would they trade Foles back to us? You know,
we take Foles back in the package.
Yeah.
And he gets hurt going into the playoffs next year. All right, I'll stop. I gotta stop. Hurts plays great, gets hurt. Foles comes in.
Oh my God!
I'm getting delirious now.
Yeah, nope.
Nick Foles got $14 million of dead cap.
That's not that much, at least.
No, it's not.
Not 59.
Yeah. I mean, 59 million once you put a gun to your head. You know what I mean? Like if I'm Jeffrey Lurie, I'm just sitting in my house contemplating it. You know what I mean? I didn't see him at the game. I wonder if he traveled this time. Jerk off. Hey, like that's not good either. When you hear your own, the owner didn't go because he's mad. Like I'm sure that's great for the players. That's good for the team.
I'm sure the head coach doesn't like that. Well, owner's not coming to games. Like I just might start packing my shit up.
But yeah, you guys are right. I mean, there's not much to talk about Sixers yet. When we get some, I know we got some preseason games starting in the middle of the month. So
how many tested positive for Corona? Did they say?
Just 2.
It's 2, right?
That's it? Oh, well, that's not
for
that
the
bad.
Sixers.
They said 14% of the league tested positive, so 2 for the Sixers. Not too bad.
Winning early, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how basketball does it. They don't have as many players to be able to interchangeable as football does. So it's gonna be curious if they got to like one night you're running with 8. You know what I mean?
If you've been watching college, you can already see that they're just canceling games left and right. So it's going to be fucking real dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the NBA's got more money. Where testing's probably faster.
Well, did you see what they put out, that list of what guys can do? I mean, guys are basically on quarantine for the season, really.
They have to be to play.
I agree. But I'm saying that's what it basically is, though. You can't go to a bar. You can't go to a game. You can't go anywhere. You can only go to, like, outside parties.
They're saying live with your family.
People, yeah.
We're letting you live with your family, but stay put.
Yeah.
And then guys should be able to, man. I mean, come on. It's 72 games.
It's 7 months, dude.
Like, we all did it in a way. You know what I mean?
We all
like,
did it. We ain't getting paid millions.
No, we don't get to get out and go get on a plane and go travel to a different freaking state either, right? I mean, and guess what you're dealing with? You're dealing with kids, man. Like you're dealing with 18, 19,
That's
20.
why you know they're not going to do it. That's how you know.
That's how you got to put out. That's why you got to hit their pocket. You start hitting pockets of guys, and they say, "Okay, I'll sit put. I'll sit put. I'll stand still." You know what I mean? And that's what you got to do. Like LeBron will follow. Like
Oh yeah, but the problem is the 22-year-olds that have the 3 girls come over after the game. Are they staying put? The girls staying put? That's when you run into the issues. That's when the issues run together. Chances are they've been in a different house every night of the week.
Where's Dick Cole? Where's Dick Cole in prison when we need him?
Sneaker chasers. I see it.
Oh yes, they're in. They're in the hotel. They're in the lobby.
Where's Dick Cole?
Go far to follow them. They're in the lobby.
I think we got ripped off on Christmas Day. Honestly, I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah, how did we not get a Christmas game?
3 years in a row, and we get Doc and Daryl Morey and
Durant's back because Durant's back, and they put the Nets on TV. Yep.
And that's.
I can't wait for them to get fucking Harden and watch that team implode. I want it to happen so badly.
No, I don't
think that. I think right now, with how they are right now, they're better than if they get Harden.
Yeah, I don't want them to get Harden. I'll stay away from that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
they won't win if they get Harden.
Okay, I'll avoid seeing them.
They won't win at all.
I'll just avoid seeing them. I mean, I'd rather not see that.
I mean, we're right now we're like the 5th best team in the East. So I mean, there's 4 teams better than us currently. I'd say. You think we're higher?
No, I mean, 2, 3. I got it more 3. I think.
Okay. Who?
That's
okay.
That's about optimism. That's optimism.
Well, yeah, I know you. I met you.
Yeah, I mean, years past I had them as the 1 seed, and they came out like 6. So, we know how that goes.
So now you're gonna go 2-3, and they're gonna be 8. Awesome.
I'm making up for my mistakes. I don't want to get too excited.
If you're not getting too excited, say
simmer down. Bring it down a notch.
I think Ben gets better. I think this roster's more built for Ben and Joe to be better. I believe both of them are going to continue to grow as they continue to get older here. Joe coming into them years where it's time to win. And Ben's still at the age where you usually don't win unless you're playing with like an older guy that, in this league, because this league's so built for vets. But I'll say this, like, this team needs to get to an Eastern Conference final this year. They need to show that progression.
And the first year with the new coach, new everything, you think they should go to the Eastern Conference final this year?
Yeah. The fucking Nets had the same shit. They got a new coach.
I don't think that's happening. That's a lot.
No, I'm not saying.
I don't think they're going to Eastern Conference Finals this year. I'll tell you right now. I'd be shocked if they go to Eastern Conference Finals.
I didn't say they're going.
I was going to say, I don't know if you're saying that, and I don't know if I'm saying that, but I need to see that, because I'm tired of it. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the excuse, right?
I know what Wilson's saying, and I get it, right? But I'm tired of it. That's why I would have him as a 4 or 5 or a 6, like Willie said, because I got to see it. I'm tired of, it was Brett Brown before. So now it's time for the 2 superstars to be superstars. That's all. All right.
I do think that they're going to have better.
Like a fucking juggernaut. You know what I mean? There's good teams in East. Sorry, I'll let you go. My bad.
No, I can't see you guys, so I don't know when you're trying to talk. I just feel like they should be better based on the fact that, like, you look at when they played the best together, it's when they had shooters around them with Redick and with the fucking Italian dude, Bellinelli, and the other big guy, Ilyasova. So now we've got some shooters again. So you would think we could space the floor better. I mean, I don't feel it doesn't take a whole lot. It's amazing it took this long for somebody to come in and be like, guys, Ben and Joe don't really shoot great from outside. So obviously we're going to have other guys be outside. You can't just clog the middle. So I don't know what took so long here. But, yeah, I think they should be better with the guys we've picked up. I will say that, Tom. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think so, too.
See you, Richard.
Take care,
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Take care, bud.
Oh, already with his prediction, 31-27. All right.
Yeah, he said they were going to win 4 in a row. So, I mean, if he had the thing for him, he'd have to hit him with a frying pan. Take care, Rich. we were expecting that prediction. That's great.
If we beat the Saints 31-27 next week, I don't even know what's going to happen, though.
Who's that quarterback for that win?
I'm guessing he's saying Hurts. He's saying
no,
Hurts.
Richards got Hurts, yeah.
I think Hurts is going to play. I do not think that we're going to win the game.
No.
I think we might shock some people because they're not going to have really tape on them, so that's a good thing. But they're best defense in football right now.
No, they are. Crumb of the week.
Yeah, giddy up. I'll go first.
Yeah. Go ahead, Greg.
I'm going to go with the Phillies. Outside of everything that Tom said earlier about the whole we're trading Zach Wheeler, we're not trading Zach Wheeler. I wouldn't trade Zach Wheeler for Babe Ruth. I mean, I would trade anybody for Babe Ruth, by the way. I would trade Bryce Harper. But no.
Babe Ruth's been dead for years.
A two-way guy. Great two-way.
Two-way guy, though.
Pretty good two-way
pitch
guy.
and hit.
No, it's like you traded for two guys. Yeah, absolutely.
No, but you offered supposedly a higher ranking position to the Minnesota GM, Thad Levine, and he turned you down. Right? That tells me all I need to know about your organization right now and the direction it's going. When you're offering someone the director of operations or whatever position that you're offering him, which in theory is higher than a GM, and he says no because I want to stay in Minnesota, that's all I need to know. And then you come out with the discussion and the travesty that was you today, and you're willing to hear offers on Zach Wheeler, and whether it was true or not, those discussions were had. Because these reporters, especially a guy like Buster Olney, doesn't throw this shit out just to throw it out. You know what I mean? So the Phillies are an absolute, might be a bigger dumpster fire than the Eagles, and that's saying something.
No, they are. They are. I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. So probably shocked them a little bit, Greg. I didn't hear about the GM, the guy from Minnesota. I didn't hear about that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said no.
So we're not a big market.
Yeah, that's what I took away, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's how bad, and a guy like that's what you want. You know what I mean? That type of GM is the type of GM or executive that you want, because they build it out of nothing. They build winners out of nothing.
Yeah, we don't have that in house right now.
Nope.
What has Minnesota won?
Well, they're always in the playoffs.
They lose in the first round of the Yankees every year.
Playoffs?
When's the last time we saw the playoffs?
I'm just saying, Greg. I don't know if we're going to say they build winners out of nothing. That's a kind of a strong statement.
Do they have our payroll?
Have they won a playoff series? No, they haven't. So why even go then? I'm just saying.
Is that always on the GM or is that the coach?
I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know that they are build winners out of nothing. I don't know if that's correct. And I also don't know if he stayed there because he likes the direction they're going more than the direction we're going. So I hear you there. That's rough for us, but I'm not sure it's because that we're like a smaller market. Like obviously.
I mean, did everybody lose money? I mean, was that statement factual? I mean, I know Matt typed it, and we heard reports. Obviously he said he lost money, but I mean, is there any fact?
It's not $2 billion.
It's not $2 billion. I think it's like 184 million.
Is there any fact behind it? I mean, I'm sure
200 mil.
No, 145. 145.
Yeah, I would imagine everybody lost money. You know what I mean? And
145. And Major League Baseball combined lost $7 billion. John Middleton lost $145 million, and he tried claiming he lost $2 billion. So, good job. You lost a quarter of baseball this year. Baseball lost 7.5, and you lost 2 of it. Good job, bud. Fucking fire.
And Tommy, it's like
lost 200 with like other shit involved, but he didn't lose more than that.
I keep telling you when he lost 145.
I know, but I'm saying if you factor other stuff into it, like, oh, well, we would have gained this and I had to pay these people, so maybe you could bump it up a little higher, but there's no way he lost $2 billion. That's just outlandish talk. That's my fucking nose is growing like on Pinocchio talk.
Tommy, and like you said in the video, if you win, that stadium's packed every night. This city has shown that from since Citizen Bank Park opened. It's generally been packed up until probably 3-4 years ago when the sellout streak ended.
Yeah.
So you put a product on the field, people are going to show up.
No, you're right. And I guess he spent all the
maybe not till 2022, but I hear you, Greg. I mean, the optimism.
but no, even watching, right, guys? So, like even watching the game, you get more viewers, you get more eyes, but you already signed your big cable deal. You know what I mean? You already signed and got that money. So I find it hard to believe they've lost money here. But what do you guys have for Crumbs?
Now, for me, it's he's not a regular on this. We usually stay away from him because he's a clown. Is Kyrie Irving? I mean, it's just you can write a book on Kyrie, but I mean, he missed the first media day and then makes a silly statement that nobody can really understand but him. Like it's the same Earth is flat talk. I mean, it's like he skips it and he's gonna let his play on and off the field, on and off the court. Talk for him. I mean, it's like, come on, dude. You have responsibilities, right? I don't care what you think of the media. You're a gigantic crumb, whether we're doing this segment or not. I mean, stand there and answer questions or be silent or do whatever. At least show up. You want to take a page from Marshawn Lynch, whatever, dude. Whatever. Be unoriginal, right? But it's your obligation, all right? You get paid millions of dollars, and that's what it's supposed, and that's what you're supposed to do, all right? And enough with your silly statements, and just try to stay healthy and try to play basketball, and enough's enough out of you. I mean, it's one thing or another with Kyrie, dude. It's like it's so old,
Yeah, it's like he just wants to see himself.
It's all about Kyrie all the time. I mean, that, bro.
And reports, look at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm talking again. What do you got, Wells?
I'm going to go with college basketball. I don't know who I'm really attacking here. I guess the NCAA in general. But I just don't know how they're planning on getting the season finished with the way that they're running it right now. Because they're doing it if a guy tests positive, then you have to pause the fucking program for 10 days. It's never going to work that way. Like the college football guys been testing positive, but then they do the contact tracing, and if no one else tests positive, then they still play. That's the only way that college basketball is going to work. You're never going to be able to pause these programs for 10 days at a time and just keep pausing programs. It's never going to happen. They're never going to get through the season, and I love college basketball, so they got to figure some shit the fuck out over the next month. And a lot of the big coaches are already talking about it, so they got to figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. You can't pull that off.
And to add on to that, throw the Big Ten in there because they have similar rules for the football, and because Ohio State had to potentially miss a game, they might not be able to be eligible for the playoffs.
I don't
think
the Big Ten championship. Greg, to be honest with you,
and especially now you look at how bad Michigan is. Michigan might just be like, oh yeah, we got COVID guys, we can't play this week, and screw. And to that point, screw Ohio State, which Michigan would love to do.
Yeah, yes, they would.
Yeah, I don't know how to pull off college basketball. At least the NBA's got a lot of money and they can test every day and keep a player out. You know what I mean?
Well, they are getting tested every day. I think all the players on the team.
What in college?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I know. I was looking at Syracuse; they're getting tested every day, but. Bottom line is you're at a university. These kids are at university. They're going to be around other people. There's a good chance that a couple of them are going to contract it throughout the season, just like it's been happening in college football. So if there's multiple people, then yeah, you cancel a game or a week of games. But if only one guy tests positive and no one else contacts him, you got to keep it going. You got to sit the guy down. He's got to go quarantine. Or else you're never going to finish the season. It's never going to happen. And we already missed March Madness last year. I can't miss it 2 years in a row.
Oh, they're going to have to bubble them for that.
They already are. They already Indianapolis. I just don't know they're going to make it to the bubble.
Yep.
Yeah. 6-0-1. 6-0-1. Hey, a 1 seed, 8-1 as a 1 seed. Like, what happened? What are you talking about? What? I'm getting a feel here. I'm not getting a feel for my brackets here.
Yeah, Lenardi would have a field day with that.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, I mean that would be. They got to figure out a way to almost bubble these guys on campus somehow, which I know is hard to do, but who cares? Pay for their classes.
Listen, it's big time college basketball. So to Willie's point, I mean, he was. Just to follow up on his point. I'm sorry, not to his point, but they all have tutors and all this stuff anyway. So for a couple months. Why not just all be in the same spot? You know what I mean? You take over a place on campus, and guess what? I understand the experience is not there, and we all live for that experience, right? It was the best time of my life. Don't get me wrong. Right, but right now we're in a situation that just sucks for everybody. You know what I mean? So until it gets fixed, and if we want to have basketball, and we want to have March Madness, just that's it. Put them in a building, and they got the tutors, so they're getting their schoolwork done, and then and I understand you have to travel and get. So I don't have all the answers. I'm not here to bark at the moon. I'm just saying that's one thing that help maybe alleviate it. You know what I mean? Where they're just together with their teammates. For now, for a couple months. You know what I mean? Just to
4 months.
Try to get a season in. You know what I mean? I understand it's easier, easier said than done. But if you want to play your senior season or your junior season or whatever, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? There's just no getting around it. You know what I mean?
Nope, none. Well, Greg stole mine, so
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine.
I didn't think you were double dipping on the earlier video, so that's why I went there.
Well, when I go last, I try to keep it home. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to say Eagles again because that's a waste.
Yeah.
So
there was 2 hours of that before this segment.
Yeah. There's my crumb. You can go back and listen to it. You can go back and listen to the rant. But boys, fun show.
Always.
Look at us. 240Ps. Everybody out there that's been chiming in tonight, we love all you guys for hopping on with us.
Smash that like button, whatever platform you're on. Smash the like button.
Yep, smash the frig away. And PhillyDrinkers.com. You can just search A2D Radio.
Yeah, get you some Christmas merch.
Get that merch. And then all campus. OC.com. You can use discount code A2D, 15% off your team hats. So enjoy yourselves. A little more discount.
Get some.
By the way, real quick before we get out of there, did you guys see Ben Simmons throw the entire Sixers media into a frenzy when he said he's moving in with Joel to get to know him better?
Yeah, people actually. Yep, they all thought it was true. Like, oh my God, Ben's moving in with Joe.
They don't hate each other.
It was a funny thing because, we're not in the market, right? So, when John Wall got traded, I guess Washington fans there was always made a divide between Wall and Beal, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? So he wrote a whole 2 paragraphs on him being his brother and his mentor, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people always thought we hated each other. That's funny. And it's I think when guys don't play well together, we assume they don't like each other.
I'm sorry.
That's all I had.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to answer Molly on the way out, man. Why can't you? I mean, you want to play basketball or not? I understand it's not ideal, right? So, it's not, a political belief. It's not one side or the other, right? We're just trying to come up with a solution how you play basketball. It's not about what you believe or don't give me any rates or anything. And I understand it's hard for 18, 19-year-olds. I get it. Right, but what's your solution? If not, like you said, it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Season's over. You're gonna miss. You're just gonna continue to miss. All those games are canceled. It's 2 weeks. That's all. So like I said, if you want to play, then that's just an idea. All right, not saying that it's the best idea. All right, or I got all the answers. I'm just trying to let you know that hey, you want to play sports? You know what I mean? You want to play your senior year? You want to play your junior year? This is the sacrifices you have to make in 2020 / the beginning of 2021, and hopefully, we get our heads around it and it fucking it goes away because we're all tired of it. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're yelling from the rooftops like, hey, this is what you got.
Going away, unfortunately.
I know that.
We're gonna have to get that vaccine that gets us a third arm in 5 years. But let's get it. Let's get it out there.
Walking Dead talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna have a whole show on what that thing could do to you.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one. What movies have you watched to prepare you for that? I've seen TV shows alone. Listen, awesome show, guys. Awesome show, even under the circumstances of us sucking. So it was
just
fun.
terrible. I'm watching the highlights right now. Oh, just awful.
What highlights?
I was going to say there were highlights.
77-yard run by Jones right there is what they were just showing. Ugh, just awful, man.
Well, always a good time. Matt saying top 5 pick, here we come. Yep, man, here we come. All right, fam. To everybody that tuned in with us tonight, we love you. Subscribe, follow. If you're over on the podcast game, download for us. Shows every night here. You know, you'll have Brinkman yelling and screaming tomorrow night. He'll be all fired up. He'll hate everybody. Rightfully so right now. Rightfully so. So, Molly Mall, appreciate you. I think my back's broken right now, Greg, in this chair. Like,
it's comfy, though. It's comfy. So move the desk out, throw the feet up. Good night.
I won't be able to get up. I won't be able to get up. I'm in like that much pain. My back's been like just weird.
Doctor said I need to back you out of me.
Yeah. I've been using this massage thing, and I think it makes it worse. I think the balls like hurt it. You know what I mean? Like it's like, yo, you got a pain in here, babe. You know what I mean? Maybe don't get that massage in it.
Go see the doc. Go see the doc.
Oh my God! You mean I might need surgery, Greg? You know what I mean? It might be time. Guys getting old. You know, imagine if I would have caught more than 11 balls from Flacco, my back would really be fucked up.
Never forget.
Never forget.
You saved my
Ricky.
Slow.
That's all right. That's all right. Good luck when you retire with 5 kids and nothing to do.
Except your $100 million.
I was just gonna say, absolutely.
Fine things. $100 million, I can walk into some things.
I was gonna say. I mean, listen, we're always looking for an upgraded studio. You want to throw some money our way? We'll take it. You know.
Yeah, I'll change 10,000. I'll change 10,000 diapers for $100 million.
Imagine they gave us a little double-decker garage out back, like a little 2-story piece.
just says courtesy of Flacco on the bottom every show.
Courtesy of Joe, just his signature. We got his face right behind us. We got the fucking, what are they called? What are the
fatheads?
Yeah,
fatheads. Yes.
Every one of us has one behind our head.
one for each team. You got a Ravens, a Broncos, and a Jets.
It's been a cardboard cutout year. So I mean, we can make it happen.
Oh God. Maybe we'll get him on one time. We'll talk to him about that.
I mean, listen, I'll tell you what, his retirement would be. I think he should keep playing as long as he can get paid to play, obviously. But it's definitely a fast approaching.
Yeah, he probably has another 2 years as a backup.
I'd say that. Yeah, he's still a good backup. He's played well in spurts this year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that need. They're not a lot of good quarterbacks, dude. The guy can stay as a backup till he's 40 if he wanted to.
And he's cheaper than Carson Wentz.
I mean, shut up, Craig. Because he has a big arm, so like I feel like he could be a backup till he's 40. You know what I mean?
It's like the guy we brought in last year. What's his name?
McCown.
Who played? Yeah, McCown. It's McCown. Yeah.
Yeah, he can play till he's 40, dude. That dude's gonna be collecting money for a long time. A lot more than $100 million. Yeah, another 10 years of fucking 2.5 on there. Like, 3.5. Take it easy on the body.
Yeah. Little 3.5 piece. Okay, all right.
Like if I was a quarterback, I would love for you to tell me at camp, like, yo, like in the NFL, like, yo, you can be backing up this year. I'll be like, let's go.
All right, let's go. You're telling me you're telling me 25% of the snaps and no getting hit in a game day? Okay. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Working on my class right now. Can I use your pen?
Should I use your pen or my pen? Where do I sign?
Where do I sign this at? Huh?
You got a Bic or I got an inkjet. I like mine.
You get grip on mine.
I only use G2s.
Oh, Oh, the G2 is a fancy pen.
G2.
You start getting that rolling ball. That rolling ball
Fucking
G2 out
awesome.
there feels real fancy.
Right. Sounds like you flew in on that pen. The
There
G,
you go.
you know what I mean? It's not like a fucking private plane jet.
Hey,
Right.
dog, listen, hey, what do you expect?
I lost $2 billion. No more private plane. I lost $2 billion.
What do you expect? What do you expect out of Greg? Greg's a fucking office corporate guy. Fucking look at him. Look at him suit. He's a suit. He's a fucking suit.
You got it right here. You guys
Yeah.
I don't wear suits, but
But you are a suit.
G2s? He's got like 2 pockets. G2s?
blue or black. Blue or black.
That is right, man.
G2 pen. Look at that.
248.
First time in history. All right.
248.
If we were in Entourage, Billy would be calling Greg a suit. That's for sure. I'll tell you that. Fucking suit.
Take care, Rick.
Ricky. See you, brother. See you, Don. G2.
We're still going on this, huh? I wasn't even sure if we were still on the air. This is amazing.
Oh yeah. We're on, buddy. Giddy up.
You know how it gets this time of night.
Don't leave until that fucking button's clicked. You know what I mean?
Don.
Don's the best.
Oh, Don's top 3, right? I would say top 3 now.
Yeah.
Top three A2D follower.
Him
Big
and
winner,
Prism.
I got him in the top 3.
Him and Prism are in a battle for first on YouTube for sure.
Tubers.
Them two are in a fight.
Don, and unfortunately it hurt my betting today, but Trubisky not jumping on the football helped Don out today. Fucking Lions backed into a win.
Yes, they did. And we're going to back up out of here.
Stafford was slinging second half, though. I'll tell you what. I know people like to rag on Stafford. Stafford still slings, man.
Yeah.
Whole camera fucking snap up.
The computer
that
knows.
the computer. I'm burying it.
Poor Wilson. Poor Wilson misses a lot of good visuals here. I mean, we got to get this guy. Love to hit a fucking giant reverse and fucking help the guy with his camera.
20 days, 20 days, Christmas. New iPhone for Christmas.
Guys, count down the tree. Guys, count down the tree talk.
New iPhone for Christmas. Already had Santa about it. New iPhone for Christmas. Sal on the lap and everything. I said, Santa, I need that new iPhone 12.
You old sailor, you. I knew you've been a good boy this year.
I've been minding my P's and Q's just for that iPhone.
Only Titty fucked a few girls. I'd have been good. He's been good. Just a tip. Come on, give me the 12. Let's go.
Did you get the big one, Wells, or the normal size?
The kitty or the iPhone?
there's like a mini
with fried eggs.
I think there's a mini, a max, and a max plus. I went max. I don't need the plus. I don't want the mini. So there you go. I'm just going right in the middle there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the biggest one is if something can't fit in my pocket, I got no time for that, bro. Come on.
Tom, in classic Wilson fashion, I'd say. I was like, I can trade in the 10 and get this for free. So I told Santa, I'm not even sure that this counts as a Christmas present, and I might have to ask for something else. But technically, it's free with my trade-in. I just want you to do all the legwork. That's all. Just get all the legwork done for me so I can open it under the tree and pop it on.
Well, Santa showed that receipt.
If I need every color of Dickies cargo pants, like to fit my phone in, like I'm out. Just give me a fucking regular size fucking phone.
I don't want the mini. So people are like, "Oh, you got the mini?" And I don't want people being like, thinking I'm one of them with the mini. I don't want to be on that.
Molly's still here. I love it, Molly.
Well, you get like one of the mini, like the little baby phones. You get a little baby up to your ear.
Thanks.
The size of your fucking earlobe. Yeah, we're getting out of here. Molly says, Tom says we're going to wrap it up. 40 minutes later, still live.
You know what?
That's what we do.
The guy knows how we are. Got to start that 45 minutes in advance. Just like when you have a house party. All right, let's wrap it up. It takes people 40 minutes to find their coats.
You tell them at 120 when you wanted to be over at 2.
That was fun in 2019. Hey, gonna need you fucking derelicts to get your coats and go.
Here, let me go get your coat for you. Then you don't stand at the door for 20. Just so hard to leave. All right, boys. We're out. Fab, thank you. For Tom Arnone, Nick
Thanks,
DelGozzo,
everyone.
Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We out.